Oh wait. Oh, my mic is working. Okay. That was a little scary. It took a second, and then like I sat there and said a few things, and then my mic wasn't picking it up at all. I was like, oh no, please, oh no, please. And then it started working, and then it started working. So we are all good. Also, hello, welcome in everyone. I do apologize for being an hour late. I am currently not feeling super well. I basically haven't been. This is gonna sound like the most like suffering from success thing ever, but I haven't been able to go to bed once before like 1 a.m. for like a few months now because I've just been out doing things like every single day. And last night, and that but to be fair, in my defense, I don't like it. I don't like being out late. I've said this a million times. I like going to because I don't sleep very well anyways because I have a bunch of sleep issues. So I do like going to bed at a try to have a consistent time and it's a consistent sleep schedule. It's just that other people don't let me. Um, and so last night was just a very bad case of it. Of I didn't even get home to start getting ready for bed until like around 2 a.m. And I'm not feeling great. I think the lack of sleep is really catching up to me, and I'm just not feeling very good today. So I feel like a little under the weather. So I didn't really get up and start having the ability to even like come back to my own house to start getting ready for this until much later. And then as I was going about things, I was just kind of like, am I remembering everything? Oh no, I forgot this thing. And then I'd get everything all ready, and then I'd be like, did I remember to do this thing? No, I didn't remember to do this thing. Let me get that one ready really quick. Also, let me start the music. The Fox of the Fable. Yeah, we're just gonna keep on using that good old please be happy music. Let's go, baby. Um, but then and so that happened a couple of times. And then I was typing everything out and getting everything ready in the OBSs and all the overlays and everything for all the things I need to be able to pull up. And I was like, my brain just could not keep track of it altogether. So I'm really excited to play a an investigation game that requires brain power. I can't wait to have to try and figure all these things out while I'm working at like 5% capacity right now. It's going to be a wonderful time. To be fair, I'm gonna have a fun time laughing at myself because like I can predict it. It'll be like 10 minutes into. Oh, I bumped a thing that I didn't know was on my desk. I'm sorry. Again, I have sleepy brain. I have sleepy brain so bad right now. It'll be like an hour into the game. A character will be like, ah, this is the murderer. And I'll be like, guys, I don't know who the murderer is. Somebody help me. I don't know what's going on. Time to whip out the walkthrough because I can't figure it out. No, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be so much fun. But at least the thing last night, at least it was like a fun thing, and it wasn't supposed to go as long as it was supposed to, essentially. So it kind of just turned into me like huddling in a blanket while trying to stay coherent while a bunch of astronomy nerds looked at stars. Because to be fair, for the first like hour I was there, it was so nice. It was such a wonderful little thing of like the clearest skies I've ever seen because it was like really far out. I'm not gonna say where we went, but it was a place with like borderline zero light pollution, so you could just like look up into the night sky and just see like the Milky Way galaxy, and it was like, whoa, this is such a magical experience right now. Like I can see clusters with just my naked eye right now, so it was very cool. And then around the 2 a.m. mark, I'm like, I'm so tired. I can barely like it. The thing that sucks about like not being able to like sleep, but still getting like faded from being exhausted, is it's just kind of like a bunch of like incoherent thoughts, like all streaming through your brain all at the same time, like not completing anything, but you can't fall asleep. Like I tried falling asleep for take a nap on like the way home in the car. Didn't work at all. Didn't even work for a second. And it was a several hour long drive that we had. So it's fun. What early stream? Hello, 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 sweetie. How is it going today? Yeah, we're doing things a little early today because we have some games for the Fall in Love Festival, a game for the Fall in Love Festival to play through. But I have a concert that I'm going to tonight. And I need to be ready by 5 p.m. my time. So, who are you and what have you done with the time zone? I mean, actually, it sans everything I just said. I actually did this specifically for you so you could be here and we could hang out and we could talk. Just sans everything I just said. I'm trying to be very cognizant of your time zone specifically. What concert? I think that would like dox me if I said what concert it is because people could look it up. I can I'll DM you about it. I'll DM you about it. Here. But yeah. If I said that out loud, I think people would be like, "Oh, I know where that is. Now I can find you." You know what I mean? Yeah. There we go. Or else threat. Oh wait, what do you, well hang on, can I like retract that? Can I like edit this? Hang on. Edit message. One threat required. There we go. Now you have to threaten me. Oh, I'm so stupid. But I screenshot. I know. Dang it. You caught it in time. Now I don't get to get threatened. Ah, what a sad day. Truly what a tragedy this is. I thought I was so clever with that. As soon as you said that, I was like, "Oh, I can edit this message so you don't see it." Lamau. Also, what the freak is Starlight Revolver that I Oh, wait, this looks cool. Oh, I've heard of this game before. It's like a Discord quest, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, but how are you doing? What are you up to today? Well, what have you been up to today? What you doing? What you up to? Mm, mm, mm. I think I'm definitely in like the beginning phases of like getting ill though, because like I've like noticed like even like trying to work yesterday, I took so long to finish everything just because like my brain is just not functioning. So I think I'm at the point of like if I get sick, that could be like the best thing that happens to me right now, just to force me to rest and not do anything. I drew art for fall. Ooh, wait. Let me check that out. Let me check that out. Do do do. There we go. Oh, it requires you to log in to look at pictures on Instagram. Don't you know I'm VTubing right now? Get out of here. I can like see most of it. That looks so cute. Oh, I don't know. I don't know why, but like the red and black eyes like one of my favorite looks for a character, and it looks so good on your characters. That's so fun. But yeah, that's very nice. Thank you for letting me know about that. Um That's fun. Dude, I haven't drawn since we did the art stream, and it makes me so sad because drawing is like genuinely like my favorite thing to do, and I haven't had a single. This week has been like such a not a single moment to do like literally a single. Wait, that's a genuine mistake. Her eye is supposed to be white and red, not black, Lamau. You know what? Black and red looks fire. All right, what can I say? Maybe I'm a little too Tokyo Ghoul pilled, but like I think it's an incredible look. So there, it's just a happy little accident. Just learn from Bob Ross, you know. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Because that's such a real thing of like you get like so far into something and then you take a step back as like this isn't how that's supposed to be at all, actually. But it's like, well, I'm a little too far in to be committed now, so I guess I gotta go. um, but yeah, no, like so many like this has been a week of like doing so much just like the festival and like other things behind the scenes for streaming and yada yada and all that stuff, and then like I've also been hit with like 10 different surprise plans that I didn't remember were happening this week because they were scheduled like months and months in advance. And I also got a haircut. I think I talked about this in the last stream, but I was hit with a huge ego check if I have family pictures on Tuesday. And my mom texted me and said, "Hey, here's a reminder for the family pictures. You're getting a haircut before then, right?" And it was like, "Oh, oh, oh my gosh." You didn't have to say that. You didn't have to do me like that. It felt like so um it was not good, especially because one of my friends had just said something. I don't remember what I was saying. I think we were like just being like typical dude bros of being like, I just want to clap my homie's cheeks, like that kind of thing. We were just making a bunch of those kinds of jokes. And then as I was walking away to like use the restroom, one of them said, "All right, so who's putting out, who's taking one for the team so Cade can finally hit?" And I was like, who's taking one for the team is a crazy way to put it. That was insane. Bald. Yeah, yeah, exactly. To be fair, honestly, like the lady who cuts my hair, I texted her and was like, "Hey, I need to like get all up in here to get like my hair cut because it's on Tuesday. I'm so sorry that this is late notice." And she just like, "Come right now. Just come in. Just come in." And it's like, "Thank you. Thank you so much." And then I told her about all my fears because apparently it had been 5. If you can't tell from how long and lustrous my hair usually is, it had been about 5 months since I had been in to get my hair cut. And I think it looks really good right now. But I had told her all like my fears and stripes and everything. Um, and she was like, "Oh, trust me, I got you, boy." And then she cut it in such a way that you can barely tell that I'm balding. It's really only like when it's like long and like I don't like I have to do my hair now, but it looks like incredible. It looks so good actually. So I'm so thankful. She's a real one. She is the realest one. That's why she's been the person cutting my hair for the past 5 years exclusively. Don't forget the earplugs for the concert, by the way, and water and snacks. Thank you for the reminders. I think the sucky place about the place that we're going to for the concert is that like they check everything and you're not allowed to take things in. You're not allowed to take in water. You're not allowed to take in snacks. It kind of sucks. It kind of blows. But hey, the tickets were like dirt cheap. They were like $30, which for a concert is like not bad at all, and it's like a really nice venue. I mean, I still might try to sneak in something with like my pockets and everything, but like even then, I like some of the people in line the last time we went to a concert here, like there's like the little bulgy wulgy of the water ball in the pocket, and like they were like, "All right, bud, take that out, throw it away. You can't take it in. Double check just in case, but if you can, definitely take them with you, especially the earplugs." No, for real. Something I'm like I'm not like sensitive to loud noises because like I do like my music loud, but I think it's the combination of like everything that like earplugs would have been so nice for the because I've only been to this place one other time, so earplugs would have been so nice to take with me. And I actually found doing all this reorganizing stuff in my room, me and my family found an entire case of earplugs that I bought, so I will definitely be taking those with me. So that'll be really nice. But something I also realize is I get like visually like not overstimulated. I get like visually overwhelmed by concerts because I have like a really bad astigmatism. So when like all like the flashing lights are happening and all that stuff, I tend to just kind of like sit down and kind of like look down and just like listen to the music, because when I look up it feels like I'm just being flashbanged, because all I see is just like my vision's just filled with like stars and streams of lights, and so like it's just too much for me to handle. So like my mom was like, oh my gosh, like why aren't you up and like dancing, like having a party? I'm like, I'm doing the best I can. If I stand up and like actually like look at the stage, I won't be able to see, period. It's really bad. It's really bad. I have a bad astigmatism. It also makes driving at night very fun. When people come by with their super bright LED lights and you can't see anything for a solid like 5 seconds of their passing, it's a great time. But do you usually take earplugs with you to concerts? Is that like something that like you know from like experience and everything? Because that does sound like a wave. I might try and like maybe sneak in like a baby water bottle. Like they're like tiny little chunky lads that are like half the size of like a normal water bottle. I think I might try to sneak one of those in. Because the issue is like I'm like very well hydrated. Because like I have like it's like a 32, 40 ounce something like cup of water, like a special one of the cups that like retains the heat and the cold like very well of like whatever you put into it. It's like very well insulated. And I go through like 2 or 3 of these things a day. I mean, probably 3 of these things a day, especially because like I work out a lot, so I end up drinking a lot of water, so I'm always very well hydrated. But like my mouth is just always so dry. You need salt and sugar too. Oh no, for sure, for sure, for sure. But that's like the importance of like stuff like I've started drinking. There's a brand of chocolate milk. Hang on, I want to look it up really quick. Do 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 do. Is this like hang on. I'm looking things up about this so I get all the information right. Boop. Okay, yeah. It's called Fairlife, and this is like the best thing ever. Because I was trying to find better alternatives to stuff like Powerades and Gatorades and like those kinds of sports drinks after working out really hard. Um, because like a lot of the electrolytes you get from like Powerades and stuff like is good, but you can like find there are like other sources of electrolytes, but it's just like a really high intake of calories, a lot of sugar, a lot of carbs in a drink. So it's not like well balanced in that way. And then I learned about Fairlife, which is significantly better balance. It gives you like those things, but it's a better balance of those things, so it's a lot healthier for you. And then I found the protein version, which I normally hate. I hate protein drinks so much. They've never once tasted good to me. But then so I was like, I'll try this Fairlife protein drink really quick. And it just tasted like incredible chocolate milk that's like just good for you. That's just good for you. And it's crazy. Because like you're saying, like it has like all of these things that you need. And it does it tastes so good. It tastes so good. So I really do like that. Granted, it is still like a lot of calories in a single thing. So I don't like drink it like super often. But I do my best. Because I think that's like one of the hardest things like with a lot of these other kinds of drinks is like balancing um your intake of these things. You know what I mean? Um but I've never been to one, but since I like metal, I learned some concert tips. Oh, that's so fair, especially for a metal concert. I gotta go help my mother. Enjoy your concert, Benny. Well, have fun helping your mother. Hopefully everything's going well there. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's always so much fun to talk to you, so I really appreciate you being here. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye. And I think with that being said, we're probably going to jump on over into the game because we do have some things to go over before like about the game before we actually go ahead and jump into the game. As usual with all the other games that we've been there, like, is the music not picking up at all? The music has like not been getting picked up like borderline at all. Anyways, I've just been talking with nothing else going on. That's totally fine. That's all right. I'm tired. Leave me alone. No. The way I look at it, I try to have like the leery approach to these kind of things. Like, oh, mistakes aren't bad, they're charming, you know? So it's very different. It's very different, you know what I mean? But yeah, we do have a couple of things to go over, and I want to start off the everything with the little slideshows that we do. The little slideshows that I made. Boop, 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 boop. Just to take a quick little peek at everything. And not only is there the slideshow that I made, but then we also have some stuff in the pitch to go over and a trailer to look at. And I'm actually going to show y'all some of the pitch today because there are some gifts that are in there that I think are very important to show off. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on over. Ba-doop. Hang on, give me a second to load in. Give me just a moment. Ah, there we go. I am here. Yes. Welcome. I hate, dude, I don't know what it is. Having, like, the pinned comment, like, makes the actual Twitch chat look so weird, and I don't know how to fix it. And this hasn't been an issue in the past, because, like, we've pinned stuff before, in a lot of streams, actually. It's just for some reason, now it's like, oh, we're going to be weird and quirky, and we're going to keep the pinned comment over, like, the Twitch chat. I hate it. It looks so bad. Anyways, yes, this is the third game that we're playing for the Fall in Love Festival, being hosted by Studio Lon, and I'm very excited to be here because, as always, I mean, I just enjoy being reached out to all these companies and be like, hey, play these games, like, get a chance to, like, again, show it off and talk about it. So I'm always excited to be here. But the game that we're going to be going over today is called Death and Faeology. Also, look at this. Look at the art style. And look how creepy. If you can't tell, it's about the Fae. And look how creepy this Fae is. I freaking love it. I love, like, the creepy side of, like, Fae lore. And this is going to be, like, we're going to talk more about it in a bit. But, like, according to, like, you know, the blurbs and everything, this is, like, a very, like, Fae lore kind of accurate kind of representation of them, where like, they're just kind of like little freaks. They're like little monsters who like steal your faces and stuff like that, and I love it. Like I've been very slowly listening to the audiobooks of A Court of Thorns and Roses for a friend who it's like her favorite book series of all time. And I'm not gonna lie, the first 10 chapters I think are borderline objectively terrible. They are some of the like the worst opening to a book almost that I've ever read. If I wasn't reading this for a friend, I would have dropped it in the first 10 chapters. But then as soon as like it gets like all the fairy stuff and like they actually start like, because I thought that the fairy stuff was just gonna be like set dressing, like it's not actually gonna matter at all that like this is happening like with fairies, aside of the fact that like there can be like sky sex and like that type of thing. But then the moment that they started like talking about like pukas and like dropping like other kinds of like fays, and I kind of sat like, because I was listening to the audiobook, and this was like months ago. To be fair, again, I'm making my way through this very slowly. I was like doing achievement hunting in Sonic and Shadow Generations before they took away the star system and ruined it. So I don't really care about achievement hunting anymore. It's like whatever. I'm over it. And I was listening to it, just really trying to force my way through. And I literally like sat forward a little bit straighter when like they started like dropping like actual like face stuff and showing off how creepy and weird they all are. I'm like, ooh, it's getting good. And then it got good for about 8 or 9 chapters, and then it kind of got really, whatever. Again, but like that's fine. Anyways, that was such a long diatribe of being like, I'm so excited for this because it's like actually being a lot of like, again, deep Fae lore-esque stuff, which I love, and I'm so here for. But yes, also look at all these freaking character designs. Listen, if she isn't someone you can kiss, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it at all. I don't want it. But yes, anyways, I think let's show off the characters. We gotta look at them earlier, but here's just like more of kind of like an up close look at them, and like, I don't know, there's just something like that feels like mature about this art style. Like it adds to like a lot to like the grit, because it is a dark academia themed murder mystery, and I think like the art design for it really lends well to it, especially because like looking at everything, there's like a very like light texture on a lot of the stuff, especially like the suits and everything, but you can even see like a little bit in like kind of like the skin and the hair. Like there's very like light texture on things, which I hope thinks adds like a little bit of like that like not like edgy dark, but like a little bit of like a gritty darkness to everything, and I think that like looks very nice. And then yeah, there she is. Listen, I got to simp for one character. That's gonna be the rule. Is everything we play on this channel, I need to simp for someone. Like Undertale, it was Papyrus. In Lover's Enigma yesterday, it was Red and kind of Haruki, mostly Haruki by the end. Like listen, there's gonna be someone that we simp for in everything that we play. All right. Oh yeah, and again, it all just looks so nice. And then we have here a couple of just screenshots of the game, because the game is actually gonna have like a lot of like it's a murder mystery that you actually need to solve. Like there are going to be like bits of gameplay, like you can see here with like the magnifying glass. Like this isn't just like a CG or something, or just like a little art piece. You're actually going to be able to take like the magnifying glass, and you're going to be able to like look over, investigate clues, like take a deeper look at them as you try to like unravel things and try to figure it out, which is pretty very cool. Boop boop. Yeah, so like obviously as you can see, there's also gonna be like even more tools to use, which is so cool, because like I'm not gonna lie, when it looked like it was just going to be just the magnifying glass, I'm like that is really cool, because like there's with like good artistic ability, there's definitely a lot of ways that you can like hide things in plain sight that you don't really notice until you get a closer look. Or like maybe you're just like looking over a picture and like some details might like blend in until you get a closer look at them. So like that, like even like with the magnifying glass alone, it was like really cool, but I was like, oh, it'd be cool if there's like more like tools and stuff to use. And then I saw this thing like, oh, more tools. Oh, it's gonna be like a more in-depth like investigation system than I like initially gave it credit for. So like that's really, really cool. Oh, yeah. And here's just like more pictures of that. So yeah, again, I'm very excited to actually like get into the game and like actually like figure out like how all these like mechanics are going to work and stuff. And then yeah, we're just wait, are we back at the beginning? Okay, yeah. That is the end of the slideshow, but we do have a few more things to look at really, really quick. Let me go ahead and bloopity doop right on over there. Yes, you can see that I have the game pulled up as we do. Let me go ahead and go over to here. We're going to... Ooh, do we want to do the blurb first, or do we want to watch the trailer? I think saving the trailer for the... No, we'll watch the trailer first. There we go. Let me go ahead and quiet the beautiful music that we've been listening to. No, quiet the beautiful music that we've been listening to. There we go. This is so weird. I just got a notification from okay, normally when I go live, it gives me like an email telling me that I went live on YouTube. This is the first time ever as I was quieting like the playlist on YouTube, I got like a notification from myself that I just went live, and I'm like, I've never ever gotten that before. Like I just streamed back to yesterday's notifications. Not yesterday's notifications, but Thursday's notifications. Nothing. Not a singular one. That's weird. Anyways. Watch the ADHD just be like so much worse today because of how tired and sleepy I am. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm gonna love it. Yeah, anyways, we have a trailer to watch.
The detective needs your help.
Ooh.
A silent killer is stalking the streets of New York. And they might not be human.
Ooh.
But don't worry. You're not alone in this fight. Interview key characters. Investigate the evidence. Find the truth.
Oh, I'm so ready. Oh, again, I love how like dark and dreary, like not dreary, but like just how like dark and gritty the atmosphere of everything is. And again, just like the fact that like what was I gonna say? Oh, I had something and then I lost it. Whatever. We're moving on. I'm just gonna go ahead and read out the little blurb for y'all, and then again, there are some things in the actual blurb itself, like just a couple of gifts that I want to make sure get shown off here, just because like they are like like bits of gameplay and stuff like that. That I want to make sure that everyone gets to see before we actually jump into the game, so we can go over all of it. Yes, let me read out the pitch for everyone. Also, everyone make sure to again, if this game looks interesting to you, make sure to check it out on Steam. It's also over on also over. It's also over on Itch.io. And yeah, I don't know, it's very cool, very cool. In a world where the Fae touched fall prey to a sinister killer, only a Faeologist can uncover the truth. A string of Fae-related murders is tearing through 1920s New York, and only you can solve the case. Death and Faeology is a dark academia murder mystery visual novel where your tools and choices and instincts determine the truth and your fate. About the game. Death and Faeology is a dark academia themed murder mystery set in New York City in the 1920s, incorporating mythical elements such as fairies and their magic into the story and puzzle. Players can use investigation tools on the evidence and interview key characters to solve the case. They will also be presented with choices throughout the game that will lead to certain endings, including romantic endings. Let's go! Let's go! That's all I'm here for. Let's go. Yeah, screw everything I said about the Fae parts. I get to kiss the girl. I get to kiss Minerva. Oh my gosh. They'll also be presented with choices of the game that will lead to certain endings, including romantic endings with particular characters. This game is inspired by Strange Horticulture and the Ace Attorney series. I've never heard of Strange. Hang on, let me look this up. Nope. Strange Horticulture. What is this? Oh, I've definitely seen screenshots of this game before. I've just never known what it is. Oh, this is cool. You can definitely see the inspirations here. Yes. That's awesome. That's really cool. I also love this is something like I feel like a lot of people like get too caught up with like, oh well this thing was like obviously like inspired by this thing, blah blah blah, and like that's a bad thing. I love how like honest and genuine everyone in like the Fall in Love Festival has been of like, no, like here are the things that we loved and like that inspired us to like make our own thing. I'm like, I love that so much. Um In the New York 1920s, bizarre murders were happening across the upper echelons of New York society. Whispers in the shadows speak of malevolent fairies and their reality twisting magic, but which one is the killer and why? The line between myth and murder has never been thinner. You are a Faeologist, a renowned expert in a relatively recent science of Faeology that investigates fairy and fae folk through research. This field is, however, still looked down upon by other academic fields, as sighting a fae and brushes with fae magic are somewhat uncommon. But you know their existence to be true, as you have Oz, your fairy companion, always by your side. Now I feel bad about calling him creepy because he's our boy. He's our friend. Um, in day-to-day life, you work as a professor at a university while doing research on the side, supported by a wealthy patron with whom you exchange letters almost daily. One day, a detective who also happened to be your ex-fiance, oh no, came knocking on your door bearing several murder cases of bizarre death that seemed to be connected. A corpse's body seemingly hardened into bony tissue overnight for one. Humans could not have done this, but this is very possible for a fairy. It is now your turn to apply what you have found in your research to catch the real murderer. All right, and then yes, we have. I'm going to quickly let me go ahead and pull that bit back up so then y'all can see again. Let's just look over these. Obviously, is there a way that I can like full screen this? Oh, there is. Oh my gosh. Wait, hang on. That's so nice. Then we could like zoom in. That's so nice. I'm learning things. Obviously, yes, you have the more typical kind of like visual novel things, like good choices. But here, I say that's typical, but I love it. I love it so much that because it gives like we talk about it a lot with the Lover's Enigma, but it just gives the game so much replayability when you have all of these choices. Like when they're very I don't know. Like if it's a very super mega story driven game, like a lot of visual novels are. You know, like there are definitely some visual novels where like I play through them and I loved it, but then I go, I am content with that being a one-time thing, essentially. But then like having all the choices, like, oh, I love this world. I can't wait to get back into it and do more with it. You know. So obviously, very good here. Also, like the UI with it is so clean. I really like how it all looks. All looks. And let's go ahead and open up this one. I believe that this is going to yes, it's going to be showing off. Uh, play. Oh, what the freak? It doesn't play when it gets bigger. Oh, so you probably couldn't tell. Yeah, the last one it was just like showing a bunch of stuff. Anyways, yeah, so this is going to be showing off a like the laying out of evidence, which I like. I like it that like when you're laying out evidence, this is such a minor little touch that you can pull out all your tools and all your evidence and points, and you can kind of like lay it out however you want, which is probably gonna actually like gonna play a part of it. Like if you put things like lay things out certainly together, there could be a chance like you could uncover things that way. Like especially with like the pictures, like if you're laying all the pictures out next to each other in a certain way, you might be able to make connections that you wouldn't be able to as easily while they're all separated. So that's very cool. Also, I just realized we could have started the music. Hang on, let me get the music back going and playing. Badoop badoop. There we go. And then let's go to here. And then I believe that this is going to be a GIF showing off like the actual investigation. Like you're using the tools that you laid out on the evidence that you laid out to actually be like looking over everything. Yeah, exactly. Badoop badoop. Okay. I think the next one's going to show off the other tool. Oh no, there's another one. Okay, yeah. Regardless, we still kind of saw like this like gives like some kind of readings, which I'm gonna assume because like it gave off like multicolored rings in here, and I'm going to guess that that's aligned with like this chart right here. But yes, you have the detective tools, the magnifying glass to find details and physical abnormalities, the black light to see invisible things to the naked eye, like fairy magic, and the encyclopedia of a book of fairy knowledge to refer to during deductions. Yes. Hang on, let's actually like make this one a little bit bigger so everyone can see. Okay, so that's how like the actual like investigation goes. Is I kind of thought that the investigation, like when you're actually like interviewing people, would be like, oh, you can talk to someone, and then here's like a list of like responses you can give them. But no, you literally just like take the pieces of evidence and you like use that like as like the I guess like the investigation points, you know? So that's very interesting. Badoop. And deduction phase. Ooh, let's look at this one. Ooh, yes. Again, I already wanted us to look at all of these, but then I don't know. The more that we're like looking at like the mechanics and everything, the more that this is going good. What is the evidence? Okay, so I think this is probably like the point, like the deduction phase. Like you, like after you get done interviewing someone, you have to be like, this is like what the conclusion that I came to essentially. Like this thing ties this person back to the killer or like to the case or whatever. If you get this wrong, I'm guessing like you lose. Not or that you don't lose, but like you just don't like win at that point essentially. But yeah, that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and take that on down. Oh, hello, Andrew. How is it going? Hello, I have become alive. I am glad that you've become alive. I'm sad that the fact that you've just recently become alive implies that you weren't, and that kind of makes me sad to hear. But I'm glad that you're back, Phoenix Wright. Yeah, I mean, this game was inspired by Phoenix Wright, the Ace Attorney games. Because again, it is a very much so a mystery detective game, which is very cool. Dope. Yeah, it is. But how are you doing today, Andrew? How's life been going for you? Got any fun plans for the weekend? But moving on with the other things to talk about really quick before getting into the game is the history and future plans. Death and Faeology Prologue was made for Spooktober Viet. Ooh, it's going to be spooky. I mean, it's about the Fae, who obviously is going to be a little spooky. Spooktober Vien Jam 2024. This prologue episode is intended as the first demo of the full, much longer game. It is currently planned to be released next year, but the date and month are not yet set. Okay, that's fair. And this is like a general time window of a year. The new demo version, point 2, includes a major rework of narrative and script as well as various gameplay optimizations. Many dialogue choices are different from the old version. There are 2 more endings, additional evidence items, and the deduction phase is more comprehensive and methodical. Overall, the new demo has 7... There are 7 endings just in the demo? What the freak? 2 CGs for the romantic endings. We can already get to romantic endings? And takes longer to play through. We're planning for the complete game, more to come. The full game will consist of 3 chapters, and the prologue episode will be included in the first chapter. Aside from the current 2 love interests, Theo and Oscar, 2 female love interests will be added, Minerva and Ruthie. Deeper and more complex relationship with the characters with some unexpected twists and turns along the way. And more fake creatures to meet and more mysteries to solve. That is very, very cool. And I just want to really quickly read over just a little blurb about the developers. Mushroom Mallow, which is like the cutest name for a thing with the cutest little logo ever, is an indie studio based in Bandung, I hope I pronounced that right, Indonesia. Some visual novel and games developed by the studio received an award. EDDA Cafe and I can't pronounce the word. I'm struggling. Wandelier and nominations. EDA Cafe, Kohana and Tales of Grumville, a legendary pie, and a nameless statue. Ooh. Like, I mean, those are like the games that like were nominated for the awards and things and everything. Mushroom Mallow aims to create video games and visual novels with immaculate vibe and narrative. And I think that they're going hard with it. Because again, I think the vibe so far is nice. I really like the vibe so far. But yeah. So that's going over everything that we really need to before we can actually like... Oh, wait, no, we still have the trailer to watch. Never mind. Wait, did we watch the trailer? No, wait. Did we? Yes, we did. Oh, gosh, my sleepy dumb brain is not working well. Oh, no. I'm doing good. I was playing a game that immediately forgot what it was called. How'd you do that? Could you not just like pull it like back up and everything and be like, oh, here's the game. There we go. Perfect. You know what I mean? Like, well, like, I hope the game was at least fun. What was it about? What was the game about? Like, what was it like? If you can't remember what it was called. And then I'm going to go ahead and bloopy boop. Bloppity blop. It was an OB type, and I play a lot of them. What the freak is an OB type? Isn't that an instrument? No, that's the oboe. OB type game. What does that mean? Parkour, lol. What the freak? How does OB mean parkour? What does that mean? Tier 10? Well, I should have looked up game instead of just typing in tier 10. Hang on. Oh, it's a Roblox thing. OBs? Listen, you're saying all these things and they're just like, well, to be fair, after I typed in tier 10, I then typed in tier 10 game. And I actually found it. But like, listen, you're saying like all of these like not ancient people words to me, and it's all just like going like right on over over my head right now. It is not connected. Excuse me, I had a tiny little burp. That was disgusting of me. I'm so sorry. It is like not at all like connecting right now. I mean, to be fair, I do get it now that it's a Roblox parkour game called Tier 10. We are now on the same page. Well, son, were you at least winning? Were you at least cooking it? Yeah, that good. I expect nothing less from you. Boop boop boop. Let's go ahead and unmute the game then. Hang on, it is pretty very loud in my ears. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it down just a little bit. How does that sound? Does that sound good to you? Does that sound good, or is the music too loud? It looks like the music might be just a touch too loud, but like, we'll see. Nope, lol, no, you weren't winning. Okay, it's good. Sweet. Excellent day. Oh, I'm so excited to get into this. I'm so excited to, like, completely fumble as a detective, not solve a single case, and probably get a lot more people killed. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So yeah, with all that being said, let's get on into it. What is your... Hey, Andrew, what's our name? Augustine is very good, but Andrew, what should we name ourselves? The last few names that we've had, oh gosh, I wish Social was here right now. I wish Social was here right now so bad. The last couple names Social helped me with was stupid ? And not stupid. So I really think we were cooking there. So if you can think of something like along those lines, that would be very, very nice. I would appreciate that. Although, oh wait, no, hang on. Actually, I'm sorry, Andrew. I'm so sorry. I did promise Social that next time we had the opportunity to name a character, I'd name it something that they wanted. I'm so sorry, but I gotta. One of the names that they said was Lana. There we go. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have asked. I should have remembered. I can't even blame the sleepiness. I just simply blame myself for that one. So yeah, let's go ahead and name ourselves Lana and jump on into it. Sag. Sir Fancy George the First. Here, next time we play as like a guy character, like guaranteed a guy character, and we're able to name the person, we'll do that. Like if we ever play a Pokemon game, I'll pick the male protagonist just to do Senior Fancy George the First. I'll do that just for you. How does that sound? Because Social also requested 2 other names, and I promised to get to those 2 first. So that's just be how it is. Oh, also something that I want to mention before we get too much further into the game. They did inform me that the actual investigation UI is still like a little bit of work in progress. Like they're still like touching things up on it. They're still working on it a bit more. So this is not. It'll probably look better, or at least a little bit different in like the final actual game. Hooray! Okay. I'm glad that works out for you. I'm glad that works. I have not forgotten the cat ears. I am saving up, lol. Good. As soon as you get those points up, I'll put on the cat ears for you. I promise. Anyways, but with that all being said, let's get on into the actual game and playing and reading. Grading first-year assignments can be such an exercise in patience. I ought to remind myself that Faeology is a relatively recent science, only a couple of decades old. The university, the Faeology University in the whole country, the only Faeology University in the whole country, was just finished being built in 1905. It is still barely acknowledged in the academic field. More importantly, I've got to keep in mind that children inherit their parents' prejudices and misconceptions. The human world has formed its own notion of fairies. Alas, I find myself unable to suppress a big sigh every time I read references to poisoned apples ushering princesses into eternal sleep. A reference to the Cottingley fairies is one I can understand, since it was quite the sensation not too long ago. Although it would be clear in the eyes of renowned phaeologists that the photographs are mere imitations. A pity that Sir Doyle was taken in by it. I gotta take a break. The grading session today has taken me quite a tangent. My beloved Oz. I suppose having a fairy companion does give one advantage in identifying genuine fairies. I'd say break is in order, wouldn't you, Oz? Oz responds through trills that I've learned to interpret over the decades I've known them. The Cottingley fairies. The Cottingley fairies again? Yes, the princess's eternal slumber due to poisoned apples. We don't care much for human princesses, but making poisoned apples is rather an easy feat. Shall I turn one of them into a toad in front of the whole class to show that Fae folk is capable of more than that? At the same time, showing them that not all fairies are a friendly bunch. I can't help but chuckle at the thought of that. I believe some might just quit that same day if you do that. Besides, if other phaeologists get hold of your existence, who knows what they'll do to you? Chances are high that those people will try to pin you to a corkboard and vivisect you. I would never let that happen. I've always appreciated you pursuing Faeology to ensure that. This is the least I could do. We've known each other since I was 7. You've saved me countless times since then. Well, you could have let me bleed to death when you found me. I would never! I hear a delightful melody of chirps laced with a touch of whimsy, which makes me feel just a tad fizzy. It seems that even the laugh of a fairy possesses some magical quality. While you're on a break, isn't there something else on your agenda this afternoon? Right, Mr. Henkel's letters. Thanks for reminding me. I trade the letter from my patron from a desk owner. I lean back on my chair and read the missive aloud to myself. Dear Lana, how long are you going to keep me in suspense? Will you or will you not accompany me to this year's Lowe's Gala? Yeah. You could do a lot worse than forgetting your boring books for a moment in favor of wheeling away an evening with champagne and canopies and invigorating company. And when I say invigorating, I'm not speaking for those old sods with deep pockets ready to be exploited by way of funding grants for your research. I'm speaking, of course, of yours truly. Do write to me sometime before Saturday. That's tomorrow's date, isn't it? Oh, I know. My delay in responding is entirely by design, I assure you. I'd hate to be getting the looks from the crowd like I'm a wet blanket. Faeology isn't worth my dough, they say. Oz's replying chirp is decidedly indignant. I nod to Oz in agreement before returning to Mr. Henkel's letter. In other news, I've heard that little Ruthie Blythe caused a minor ruckus in the city's hottest speakeasy. If your old friend Detective Crouse hadn't been in the area at the time as well, who knows what could have happened? I find myself rather perturbed at this revelation. I would have telephoned Ruthie and asked what the story was, like when we were children. However, for better or for worse, we aren't on friendly terms anymore. I resume reading my patron's letter. Speaking of the detective, have the two of you been keeping in contact? He gave me the cold shoulder when I crossed paths with him at last week's benefit. I couldn't help assuming that his persistently frosty treatment of me might have had something to do with you. It's unfortunate that the extensive bonds you have with him should end in a rather bitter taste. As you told me more than once, when it was good, there was nothing else quite like it. Yet you speak very little of him now, and I find myself wondering if he still holds a place in that guarded heart of yours. The letter is signed, yours everlasting, Oscar Henkel. Well, I've kept Mr. Henkel waiting long enough. I press a pen to a fresh sheet of paper to commence crafting a response. Just then, a familiar rhythmic rapping pierces the silence. I glance in the direction of Oz, but they're nowhere to be seen. Oz must have camouflaged himself in a heartbeat. I put Mr. Henkel's letter in the drawer before calling out. Come in, Minnie. Hello. Oh my gosh. Welcome in. My assistant enters the office. She's careful to snap the door shut behind her. Professor. Yes, Minnie? Were you talking to yourself again? That's right. You know me. I see. Sometimes I wonder what she must have thought while hearing the mumbling sounds of me speaking with Oz. But she knows not to poke her nose into things. One of the things I like about her, and also what makes her the bee's knees when it comes to being an assistant. I'd hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he's here. Who? The police detective from the newspapers. Police detective? Even as I echo those words, there's a sinking feeling in my stomach. You know, the man who made you crumple the papers and toss them in the trash can? In the end, we had to stop our subscription for the dailies. Detective Theodore Kraus? Yes, that's the one. Knowing Theo is here makes the world go momentarily off-kilt. It's as if by the magic of the fairy tales I malign, the ink in my patron's letter has manifested him into the reception area. Can't you tell him I'm out delivering a lecture on the far side of campus or something? That depends. Is a lie like that going to deter this man? An astute question. She's truly wise beyond her years. Probably not. He'd happily traverse the entire campus just to torment me, I'm guessing. Alright, let him in. With a brisk nod, Minnie turns to the reception area. I barely have time for a steadying breath before Theo barges in. He drops a bosk? A box on my desk right off the bat. What is this? Why is he in my office? Well, well, look who the cat dragged in. Not even a how do you do. What? Do niceties suddenly mean something to you? I seem to recall you packing your bags and moving out without so much as a goodbye. There was no one to say goodbye to. Didn't you find out? Didn't you find out I left only a few days later? At least it made it easier for you to leave, didn't it? There's a tinge of hurt in his voice that I'm only able to pick up because we lived together for several months. As my mouth struggles to catch the words hanging in the air, I feel a piercing, icy silence creeping in. I ought to break the silence before I freeze. What's in the box? He lets out a deep sigh that sounds like relief. Your things that somehow you didn't take with you when you left. Even that oddly crafted handkerchief you loved so much. The handkerchief was a gift for you. I see the corner of his mouth twitch. He's lying. What should I do with this information? Ooh. Okay, normally I would be doing all the saves and all these things, but I realized I'm just playing demos right now. You know what I mean? I'm just playing the demos right now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make decisions and stick to them. Ooh. Okay, big stretch. Reach out to check the box. I quickly stretch out my hand to the box, yet he is just as fast at catching my wrist before I can open it. I withdraw my hand from his grip swiftly, like a startled bird soaring into the sky. That truly caught me off guard. I'd forgotten what his hand feels like. I was only kidding, although you really haven't changed much, have you? You just went straight for it. He sounds amused and slightly pleased, as if he just confirmed the accuracy of one of his deductions. Neither have you. I threw all of it away right after you vanished. He says with a subtle squint in his eyes, another lying tell of his. I can't help but sigh at his antics. Yeah, stop being around the bush and just tell us what's in the box, boy. Of course you did. So what's really in the box? Want to take a guess? I do have an idea. Knowing him, he'd sooner face the Al Capone gang by himself and take their bullets before coming to visit me. This must be way more important than our poignant history. Case evidence? I've seen boxes like this one before, but never one quite so large. It's a really big case, isn't it? He nods. The biggest of my career. And to come to me of all people, you must be at your wit's end about this. He looks away as if trying to hide how galling, yeah, the circumstances at hand are. Truth be told, I'd rather face the... Truth be told, I'd rather face the whole Al Capone gang and take their bullets than have to see you again. Gee, that stings a little. So why would you... Hold on a minute. You think this has some sort of connection to fairies? He flicks his tongue in exasperation. Oh my, it seems I've hit the bullseye. We stopped talking about fairies at some point when we were still together. Those talks always led to a heated discussion and then into arguments because nothing I could say could change his skepticism towards mystical beings. Isn't one of your homies a fairy? Could they not just be like, hey, look at me? Granted, that's also up to them if they actually want to. There's certainly the chance to tease him about it, though. Though it might be unwise considering the emotional peril he must have gone through to get here. What should I do next? I'll ask him more about his thoughts. I know this must be hard for you, but I can't help it if you don't say anything. He sighs. You're right. As difficult as it is to admit, the things you've told me before about fairies and whatnot might have helped to make sense of this case. But I have to say, for the sake of my sanity, I still don't believe they exist. Fair enough. He appears pleasantly surprised by my answer, as though he was expecting a quarrel right around the corner. Little did he know, I've learned that it's moot to try to explain the otherworldly beings to him. So, what makes this case so significant? Why do you think it relates to fairies? Are you even allowed to tell me? I hear the sound of a chuckle under the breath like a bolt from the blue. For a moment, his gaze on mine seems to revert to how it used to be, until the seriousness returns to his face. First things first, since I'm leading the investigation, I do have some discretion on what details to divulge and to whom. That is, if the confidant can bring value to the investigation. I've known you for a fact that you can be discreet. Still, I must ask your sworn secrecy on this matter. You got it. So tell me about the case. Why does it seem to be of paramount importance? It's a multiple murder case, potentially perpetrated by a single culprit. The victims are chiefly middle-aged women residing north of the city. They're from old money families, the type that make regular appearances at high society events. I see. No wonder you're all tensed up. You're telling me. Chief took me off every other case and insisted I put all my time and effort into this. It's only a matter of time until the press catches wind and makes a circus of everything. And some of the victims' peculiar manners of death. He pauses. This is when fairies come in. He silently stares and then sighs. I swear I must be losing my mind. You've got this. Now he draws in a long, deep breath. 3 of the victims had a manner of death that the unit has never seen or heard of before. Yeah, he's like, oh my gosh, all of these people are turned to stone. I'm still a little on the fence about if supernatural things exist, though, you know? Like, or he has, like, a specific hatred towards fairies. He's like, I think this might be the work of Medusa. And then she's saying, like, bro, I can tell you 5 different fairies who can do that, and I have proof that they exist. And he'd be like, nah, Gorgons. That's what we're dealing with right now. Oh, yo, what is up, social? How is it going? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. We got to name this character that we're playing as, and I named it Lana after one of the names that you want us to use. So, we're on the right track with the names. But how's it going? How's your weekend been so far? You got any fun plans for the weekend? Thank you. Of course. I do my best to keep my promises. My weekend plans are to work. Let's go. That's fun. Just working on some college things as you do. For me, basically as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to be heading back to my parents' house and going to a concert. And then tomorrow we've got another game that we're going to be playing, another Fallen Love Festival game, and then I'm probably going to be painting my room and hopefully getting close to finishing on that. Yeah, grading and then working on Why Not Both. Oh, let's go. That's exciting. Anything, obviously, if you don't want to share, don't. But if you want to share anything about any of your stuff, then feel free to. But again, if you don't want to or can't, then absolutely no pressure to. I'm just always curious. I would also like to try writing today a little bit. Like, if I can finish up with this, especially because I've been working so hard on, like, editing videos. Like, this is because I just got the computer back and everything. I've been doing some things while I'm at work. I basically turn over and I have, like, some, like, really, really easy videos to edit it. Just, you know, it's like some, like, very simple Let's Play things that I don't really have bigger plans for outside of being Let's Plays for the other channel. So I literally just sync up the audio, and then I hit the export button, and then I let it go. And it's been so nice. I feel like I've achieved so much in so little time just by having this computer back for a few days. It's been so nice. So unironically, excuse me, tiny little burp again. I do apologize. I ate at like 4 p.m. yesterday. So when I, like, woke up and was, like, coming back to, like, my house to actually, like, do the stream and everything, I was so hungry, so I had to, like, eat food right before stream, which I don't really like to do because it tends to, like, you know, cause some things. So I do apologize for my poor manners. But yeah, no, so, like, if I do finish this with enough time, I would like to take a small break from go that I've been doing for the past couple of weeks to just export some more videos and to work on some writing. That would be so lovely. I've been ad stuck. I'm wounded. I'm so sorry. Did you take an ad to the knee? Are your adventuring days over? Oh no. Just scripting and stage direction for the epilogue. Oh, I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for the epilogue. Just to see more. Because I always like seeing in romance stories specifically, I've come to be, like, such a big fan of, like, getting to see the characters actually, like, be in the deeper stages of relationships. You know what I mean? So like having like an epilogue about like the characters and getting to see how things are going for them, like, oh, that's exciting. That's really, really exciting. So I'm very much so looking forward to that. So yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. Also, I need to step away for just a second. Oh, wait, did the ads just play? Hang on. Can I be mean? Can I be mean right now? I'm gonna step away for just a second to go refill my water. So I will be right back. Oh no, I can't run the ads. Well, I'm gonna um bye. Okay, wait, hang on. Let me step back into frame really quick. I'm back. What's up? How's everything going? I know it's been so long since you last seen me. I live. Ah, you survived the ads. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. Good job. Good job. Hello, hello. um, yeah. All right. With that, we could jump back into it. I love that so much, Andrew. I saw that you said that you were stuck in ads, and then I was like, oh well, I need to go get waters, and I think the ads are about to end. Could I start some more, actually? Could I just start another wave of them while I go refill my water? And I was like, oh, no, I can't. Dang it. Dang it. No, no, no. I'm not doing it yet. I'm not doing it yet. I already stepped away to refill my water. So we are all good. Also, this is going to sound so stupid. Not, you know what? Never mind. This isn't going to sound stupid at all. I use a left-handed mouse while I work. Just because like I want to keep avoiding like overusing one arm too much, and since I use my arms for like everything, I was like I wanted to divide it up, like have my left arm do like all like my work throughout the day and like all that kind of stuff. But now that I'm like, so like basically I am so used to using left-handed mouses because that's what I use like every single day. But now that I have like both the computers set up, I now have like two different setups for it, so I don't have to like constantly keep like unplugging and replugging in mouses and keyboards and stuff. So I just grabbed like some old ones that I had for like the streaming PC, and so now every single time I go to grab the mouse, I like just kind of like flail and grab at nothing where I expect the mouse to be before I go, oh yeah, it's on the other side of the keyboard now. It's on the other side. I use my dominant hand for the streams and such. But yeah, anyway, short story short. Hi, wait, I'm safe, lol. Ooh, lol. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it definitely causes a little bit of like brain farts every now and then as I'm like trying to like figure everything out. But yeah, anyways, let's get on back into it. Wait, no, can I go back? Is there Wait, is there a way to go back? I don't think there is a way to go back. No. Anyways, he basically said that they were covered in a bone-like structure. That is what he was going to say. Her corpse almost looked like a carved wooden statue. Oh, I've heard of something like that before. Of course you have. I frown at him. As if as if as if that's not exactly why you called for her. Scroll up on the wheel or press B. No, that's what I tried. I've specifically, ever since you introduced me to the pressing B as a back option, that's like always like my go-to to try. Like I click the B key and then I try the scrolling. I just don't know if it's an option in the game, which is fine because you know this is just like the demo and everything. Boop 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 boop. Yeah, no. That was definitely a moment I just clicked every button on the keyboard. Which that's like also always my go-to, like when I'm told that there's like something you could do in a game and I don't know how to do it. I just like click all the keys. I click all the buttons. But yeah, no. I'm sure it'll be added. And if not, hey, guess what? Just next time don't click on something before you have a chance to read it. Dadoy. Rutrow, easy solution and easy problem. Don't start now. He cleared his throat abashedly. Without finding out what caused these deaths, and more importantly, who did this, the press could spin the stories out of control. I don't want to imagine the look on the family's faces if and when the papers are making a razz about these poor women's deaths. Besides, what kind of depraved, sick bastard goes around murdering women in such a way? The city's already running on fumes, crimes becoming more rampant day by day. People shouldn't have to look over their shoulder every night. It's no way to live. Even as he lapses into silence, I say nothing. It's not just the city. The rise in crime is bleeding him dry too. I need to scoot forward just a little bit. There we go. I am unsure of what words could soothe those who are fighting it on the front lines. I have never been where they are. The frown line between his eyes grow deeper. You know, considering the victims' backgrounds, having these murders being exaggerated in papers would pressure the families to insist on closing the case as soon as possible. No matter the cost. No matter who's to blame. You're right. Innocent people are going to bear the brunt for this. This is a terrible situation. I feel my stomach churning. My arms crossed on instinct, trying to hold on to my own disquietude in place. Is there anything you can do? I'm just one man. Try as I might, I can't keep these rotten police brass from lining their pockets. Nothing but a pack of lowlifes in high places. He exhales sharply, his voice laced with contempt. This is actually like a really cool angle to take with this, of like, the press and the families kind of forcing police officers to like close cases without actually like making sure it's like actually you're like right, like the real actual perpetrators. So it's not something you you learn about a lot if you like look into like, you know, like true crime podcasts and that like that all that kind of stuff is like, oh yeah, this person who had like no evidence against them was kind of just put away. And then once you like look into like everything that's happening in the town, it's like, oh yeah, it's because everyone in town was like pressuring the police into finding the perpetrator as like fast as possible. So they kind of just like went with like the first person who even like semi like related to it. Dude, the history of rich people getting involved in police work in their favor is nuts. No, it is insane what just like how much like extra privilege like being rich brings you in life in every single way, including like the law. It's like it's so bad. It's so bad. It's like the fact that like because I feel like you never like you see like rich people like paying off like, oh, don't look into my things, but you never really see them being like, hey, I'm going to pay the police to close this case as fast as possible and just arrest the most convenient person for it kind of thing. I feel like that's a side that you don't really see get represented much in media. He exhales sharply, his voice laced with contempt. Then he fell into silence yet again. Similarly, words seem to have abandoned me as I can't shake this feeling of helplessness crawling under my skin. After a minute, he meets my eyes once more. Well, you're a good listener, better than most. He curls his lips into an almost smile. He has a very cute smile. I don't mind at all. Thanks. He clears his throat once more. Alright, let's get down to the brass tacks. This box includes case files, crime scene photos, and a couple of blood samples, which I was able to request to bring you, and several other pieces of evidence. Other than the strange manner of deaths I've said, forensics was puzzled by the blood samples. How so? One of them doesn't contain iron. That's interesting. Nothing surprises you, does it? Tell me about this peculiarity. I bring up something from my fairy books, but you've always had a way to deny it. You're right about that. I'm still investigating the possibility of unknown drugs or poison that somehow causes these oddities. But I'd be a fool to not go after my hunches and look into all possibilities. What about robbery? It's ruled out. No fingerprints, no evidence of breaking in, nothing had been stolen. And motives? Revenge? We're still interviewing the city elites, looking for the possible motives. But it takes time. You know how it is. Of course. Yes, of course. They're very busy. Speaking of city elites, I know people who can be very helpful in getting some inside information. His expression turned sour at full tilt. Who? That man? I said people, but yes, that man would be particularly helpful in this matter. He scoffs brazenly and doesn't even try to hide it. Even at the first meeting with Mr. Henkel, there was some inexplicable tension between the two. Theo said something about Mr. Henkel feeling off and always hated it whenever I had something to do with him. Though it might just be jealousy in disguise. You know I'm right. Even if he's barely in the newspapers, he's most likely at the pinnacle of high society. And I don't think he'll mind if I ask him a few things about this. Why, of course. He's always got a soft spot for you. Hell, he's probably carrying a torch for you he's probably carrying a torch for you a long time, judging by the way he follows you everywhere. Well, he happened to be interested in Faeology and has a lot of money to allow its development. Look at you, all ready to defend him. What, are you two an item now? I must have steered this reunion right back to where we were months ago by bringing up Mr. Henkel. But it was necessary to mention him. I don't know anybody else who has that much information about high society. Besides, there really has ever been anything, even if we did go to fundraising events together from time to time. It was strictly business. Yet again, Theo seems to lose his reason whenever we talk about Mr. Henkel. I don't have the time or energy to argue with him. What should I do? Are these not the same things? Try to make him see reason and then explain the truth about the relationship with Mr. Henkel, because Mr. Henkel is all business, nothing else. And then this is that, but it just with different words. I think I'll just explain the truth, yeah. We're not anything. We go to fundraising events from time to time, but these are work. I've got to get money for my research from somewhere, you know? Our relationship is strictly business. He gives me a dirty look. Sure, I believe you. No, he doesn't. Besides, what I do with him is none of your beeswax. I love all the old-timey, like, none of your beeswax. This person's the bee's knees. I love it. I love it. I'm just waiting for someone to start dropping, like, rad and tubular. His voice becomes even more irritated. That's right. It's none of my concern. Do whatever you want with him. Just make sure he keeps his mouth shut about this case. I can't help but groan at this turn of events. I will. While we're on the subject of useful allies, you mentioned before about blood that doesn't contain iron. I can take the blood sample to the university's chemist. She's good at what she does. And she's from a rich family. She might know some of the victims or their families at least. I'll trust your judgment. I'll take this as you agreeing to help with the case. That's right. There are lives at stake. He let out a soft smile, as though in quiet agreement with what I said. Thank you. Well, if you think it'll be helpful, you can even ask the people you mentioned what they know using the evidence items. But the case files are for your eyes only. Understood. He has fallen silent somehow, leaving an uncomfortable hush in the air once more. Suddenly, a realization comes to mind. Does this mean you'd be willing to hear about fairies? About Faeology? That depends. If this was indeed fairies' doings, and through your investigations you can provide solid theories on three things. The culprit, their method of murder, and their motives. Supported by evidence, of course. I'm sticking with the idea that there's a logical explanation, an earthly one for now. Fair enough. I'd wager that we, have approximately 24 hours to get some sort of answer. An answer that makes sense. I can feel the papers are close to getting the story. While you're investigating this lead, I'll look further into unusual drugs and poisons. How about it, Faeologist? Do you dare take on this challenge? Do I? I thought it was gonna be like, accept the challenge or no. And I was like, okay, so this is how you get the first bad ending. Alright. Bring it on, detective. This brings a grin to his almost consistent brooding expression. Challenge? Ooh. I'm a challenge run now. This is a challenge run. Good. If you need anything from me, just ring. Aye, sir. But you need to promise me that you'll not just hear me out, but also keep an open mind on fairy topics if I succeed in what you asked. I promise. Oh wait, that was her saying that. Well, never mind. But I can't promise not to scoff from time to time. That's good enough. I ought to get going. Maybe this will be an opportunity for you to increase Faeology's credibility in the eyes of the academics. Maybe. Seems like some detective has been following the tiny part of Faeology in the newspaper. Says you. The one who had to stop the daily paper subscription just because some detective kept getting the headlines. How do you... Before I could finish, he had walked towards the door and opened it. See you tomorrow, around the same time. I hear the door close. Hey! I exclaim with a hint of frustration. After some thought, I realized that he must have noticed the missing newspaper on my desk and my assistant's. Reading papers was part of my daily routine when we were together. I can only shake my head in disbelief. He hasn't changed much either. As if reminiscing about a few moments of our past relationship, Oz reveals themselves again now that we're all alone. That was quite the reunion. It was quite the reunion indeed. He hasn't changed much at all, has he? I suppose. Although you don't have an obligation to help him. I know. But I've already agreed. Very well, just don't overwork yourself. Yeah, thanks, Oz. I find myself slowly drifting into thoughts. A victim's manner of death, hardening into bony tissue, could be one of the fairy's curses, ossification. If only I could ask Oz whether fairy was behind this and which one, but it is not that simple. Even if they are my longtime companion, fairies have their own rules about exchanging favors, and they are secretive about their land too. A favor like that doesn't come cheap. At least I'm stocked up on milk and honey for small requests. Speaking of requests, I should get started on a reply to my patron's letter. I think it was like the stuff like the Spiderwick Chronicles, which like first like started like getting my interest into like the spooky side of fairies, because like you grow up with a lot of like like the Disney movies or like other kind of cartoons where it's like, oh, the fairies are like the little good nice like ladies and stuff like that. But like then the Spiderwick Chronicles came out, and then I also read like the book series of Spiderwick Chronicles, and like that stuff gets intense. For some reason he seems to be more insistent this time that I come with him to the gala. I retrieve a paper and pen and mumble to myself as I write. Dear Mr. Henkel, I hope your recent forays into high society have proven more fruitful than they have in... Should I be hyperbolic? Yes, I'm always hyperbolic. Get out of here. More fruitful than they have been in centuries. You've been roaming amongst their lavish ranks. Okay, well I did it... I didn't mean it like that. I thought you were just going to be like joke about how long it's been taking for him to like get results. Believe it or not, I have been considering whether the merits of trying to impress the wealthiest folk in the city outweigh the obvious indignities. You first brought up the possibility of my accompanying you to the annual Lois Gala a couple of months ago. I'm still weighing my options. How do I want to play this? Be apologetic. I still don't have a definitive answer for you at present, I'm afraid. I sincerely apologize for my indecisiveness. About Ruthie, I can't say I'm surprised to hear about her latest flirtation with disaster. Since we were both toddlers, she's frequently found herself in trouble. Her fiery personality certainly doesn't help her get out of quarrels. I would love to telephone her and ask her how she's doing, but we drifted apart a long time ago. Nevertheless, I'm glad to hear that Theo was there to smooth things over for her. I've now arrived at the topic of Theo, or Detective Kraus, as my patron refers. I suppose his query was meant to uncover whether I still care for Theo. How should I answer? He and I are old news, alright? No worries. As for Theo, I've long since stopped dwelling on him. I thought of him as a relic of my past, and I feel no regret in having ended it when I did. Upon signing off, I sealed the letter with wax. I then turned towards my trusted Fae. Oz, can I please trouble you with something? You want me to deliver this letter to your patron, don't you? Indeed, time is of the essence here. As always, please take care to not catch anybody's attention. He'll see it by tomorrow morning, I'm sure. It would be my pleasure. Thank you, Oz. I'm off. I'll see you later today. I watch as Oz flits out of my office window and vanishes. Once the Fae is gone, I call my assistant to my office. Yes, Professor? Hold on a second. I rifle through the contents of the box. Carefully, I extract the blood samples that Theo mentioned. They appear to be stored in test tubes. Would you mind asking Dr. Rayford to analyze these blood samples? I'll do that, sure. As I hand the box to her, I notice that she looks like she wants to say something. Over the 2 years we have been working together, I've picked up on a few of her tells. What is it, Minnie? How'd it go with the detective? If you don't mind me asking. Oh no, not at all. He's the same as always. There's lingering beef, of course, but we've sort of managed to put it aside for something more important. He has brought me a rather significant case that he suspects might have some supernatural elements, as hard as it was for him to admit it. Oh, good for him. I can't help but grin at her remark. I'm glad it didn't end up in a shouting match, at least. Yes, me too. I'll deliver the blood samples now, Professor. Thank you, Minnie. Minnie hurries out. I'm alone in my office again. Remembering the conversation about the case, I'm suddenly engulfed by unexplainable, eerie feelings. I should start on the investigation right away. Oh, let's go. We're getting into the gameplay. Let's go. Moth lady. Ooh. Oh. See, that's how I imagine Mothman would look like, except Mothman would just be taller, a bit buffer, and way more caked up. That would be like the main differences. Okay, drag and drop items from the inventory to the desk. Select an item in the records, then press the icons to open the inspector and read the insights you've gathered. Hover the magnifying glass around an evidence to access information and see the details in it. Use the backlight to see invisible things. Or the blacklight to see invisible things. Read the encyclopedia to gain additional informations. Press the button to end the investigation. Okay. So, bloop, 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 bloop. Tools. Records. Okay. I'm just going to pull out... Let's just go ahead and drop the pictures down here first. And I want to make sure that I keep them all, like, very, very separate. Not separated, but, like, with enough space between them that they're not overlapping at all, while taking up as little space on the desk as Hang on, I'm going to move these pictures over a little bit more. Let's go here. Here. To be fair, I can also probably just put these away, right? Yeah. Here, let me just, for, like, really quick, let's just look at the pictures first, and then I'll start pulling out, the records, I suppose. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. That reminds me of the webtoons Finding Fiends, lol. Oh, what's that one about? Is that one about, like, hunting cryptids or something? Okay, let's just go ahead and pull this down. I'm going to put this, like, right here for right now, just because my camera is right here, so I wouldn't be able to read it at all. So I'm going to go ahead and put it down right here. All right. How do I use this? Okay, there we go. This is the 4th victim's crime scene. Poor girl. It's a cruel thing to see youth being stolen so abruptly. No, I wanted to grab the magnifying glass. Okay, that looks just like water. I was like, oh, there's something weird looking in her cup. I think that might just be water. Okay. Oh, yeah, I know. Trust me, I'm aware. I'm aware of these things that you're saying right now. I get it. I'm just looking over the picture. I just want to see if there's any more details. I'm sorry. Okay. So just some kind of invitation or something. It looks like she has, like, I don't know, like frostbite in her fingers or something. Okay, so they've all died in very different ways. This is the 4th... Stop telling me about the 4th victim's crime scene, I know. This seems to be the 2nd victim's crime scene. Her complexion, it's not quite the pale hue of death, far paler than should be possible, almost drained of color. Something's odd with her fingers. Yeah. This seems to be the 2nd... Stop. No, I didn't want to pick up the picture. I wanted to pick up the magnifying glass. This one, she also in this one she also looks like she's been like drained, but like not of her color, but of like her like nutrients or something. Because like look how hollowed her cheeks are, and like maybe like literally like the life, the vitalities would like drain out of her because like the bags under the eyes. The first victim's crime scene. This is the first I encounter something that could be ossification. I feel sick to my stomach. No one deserves to die like this. Something's odd with her fingers. Is there something odd with her? No, I want the magnifying glass. Wait. Her fingers. I've seen corpses before, but never like this. There's something strange about her fingers. Wait, hang on. Was that for this one? Well, I think it might have been. Hang on, maybe I have the pictures too close to each other and it's like throwing off like the coding or something. Like maybe it's like detecting things from other pictures here. Let me just see if I can get it like to proc on this one again. Her fingers. I've seen corpses before, but okay. But about her fingers. Let's go ahead and go like this, and then which one was for this one? This seems to be the second victim. Complexion not quite drained at first. Something's odd with her fingers. I don't see anything weird about her fingers outside like obviously she has like Huh? Like obviously she has like the wedding ring on and everything, but that's really about it. Or oh wait, no, never mind. She has an extra finger. Oh. Never mind. She just has an extra digit there. The first victim's crime scene. This is the first time I encounter something that could be ossification. I feel sick to my stomach. Okay, yeah. There we go. So that's definitely what was happening. Like I had the pictures too close together, so it's kind of like messing up like the detection of the magnifying glass itself. Okay. Something's. Wait, did it also say something odd with her fingers? Wait, let me read that again. Something's odd with her fingers. So this one also. What is the odd thing with the fingers, though? Oh, wait, hang on. This hand doesn't have, like, thumbs. Unless, like, wait, are these supposed to be the thumbs? No, because, like, based on, like, the direction of the hand, these should be the pinkies. But then, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is definitely not a thumb. So, like, they all have... Do they all have 6 fingers? No, they all don't. This one has 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, no, they do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What about this one? No, this one looks normal. So these 3 all have the 6. Have grown an extra finger. This one's like looks like the again like frostbite happened to the fingers, while something bad happened to the mouth. And I thought that the mouth was going to be like, I think that's going to be like the connection to everything. Is maybe that happened from like drinking something, and it's because like she also died of drinking something, but she has like the normal hand, whereas like these 2 are connected by that, but then these 3 are all connected by something bad happening to the fingers, and these 2 looks are described to have like been like drained. Hang on, let me go back over this. I'm spending so much time on these pictures, but it's fine. There's something strange with her fingers. Oh, I know that wasn't the one that was described as if being drained. Was it? It was this one, right? Yeah, drained of all color. Something odd about her fingers. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Because I had my brain a little bit confused about who had been drained and what in it. But yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. I was confused as why this one was like described like as he was drained. But no, that was for this one. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Wait, can I go through all pages? Oh my gosh, there's so many pages. Wait, that's cool. That's like cool though. Hang on, this one's about hands. Hang on. I need a... Oh no, I buried my magnifying glass. Due to the complexity of the Fae, magic required to create a changeling, the enchantment almost always goes awry. Anomalies common among changelings include an extra finger or an extra toe. Herm. I wonder if these were all changelings. Nearby heat conductors, such as small metallic objects, have also been known to repel or to warp the magic creature, creating changelings. Hmm. 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 Okay, so like obviously changelings. Isn't iron just like bad for like all fae? Isn't that a thing? But it's kind of vague on. Oh wait, no, it just says on the magic, not actually like the bodies themselves. Cryptid hunt, kind of more like cryptic recorder. Lol. I'm so uh down to read that because I love cryptids and stuff like that. It's just so fascinating to learn about. Mothman just vibing with the guy who ran him over. Is that what happens in that? Okay, so yeah, these are obviously changelings. Hang on. Is there anything else that kind of like jumps out? They are unconfirmed rumors that some high faes like to capture humans and bring them into the fairyland for purposes such as forced reproduction, servitude, ritualized combat for their amusement, and so on. The fairies leave changelings behind to mask their absence. A changeling is composed of several fae, typically of the parasite type, magically transformed to look almost exactly like an abducted human. Okay, so like first theories that are like coming to mind is that for whatever reason these high profile women are being abducted specifically to be replaced with changelings. And it says here that like it's for like these reasons, but I wonder if like the reasons why like they're like the high profile women is to put changelings in their place for certain reasons, but I don't know if like the changelings would care that much, like have like that kind of like goals in mind of like infecting like society, like that kind of stuff in like high places. Parasitic fairies. Fairies with limited magic consistently need to feed off other sources of energy, mostly drained from humans, such as blood, hormones, emotions, and life force. However, the mechanisms and rate at which these draining processes occur are greatly varied. Okay. They're protective of the troops, desires. I'm gonna read through these a little quickly, just see if there's anything else that pops out. Hang on. Scribe fairies. Hang on. I'm just gonna go all the way back to the beginning. Fan insects. Okay. Ooh, okay, so it's kind of like three different kind of groups going on. We have the scribe phase, the warrior mate, the phase, and then you have the parasite phase, which I kind of thought like the parasite phase were going to be like used by the other two, but no, they're like kind of very much so against each other. All fairy kinds seem to be weak against iron, although a small amount of iron, such as in meat or blood, does not seem to ward off fairies. Historically, cold iron was often forged as weapons and used to repel fairy magic. The intricate use of iron combined with physics and chemistry is applied by Faeologists to develop a special blacklight detected by extinguish. Okay, sustained illumination. Scale of values. Okay. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely like parasitic phase going on right now. Hang on, I want to reread the describe phase. I wonder if this is like specifically she was killed by like one of the scribe phases, like it placed like a curse on her, like maybe like cursed her drink or something. I don't know, because like obviously like the what she is drinking has to play a part in it. It feels like too specific, or maybe she just died while drinking. I don't know. I feel like it, but like it's like all these images have to have like a lot of specific details in them to actually figure out the mystery. And I think like stuff like the invitation or like the bad stuff to the fingers and like the drink, like I feel like those things have to like play into it to an extent. Cheers. Okay, let me go ahead and scroll back to here, and then let's go ahead and put all the pictures away. There we go. And then let me go ahead and pull out the first actual case. Okay. Womp. Name, Audrey Wooldridge, age 51 years old. Manner of death, hardening into bony tissue from afar. The corpse looks like a carved wooden statue. Time of death around 1 p.m. Victim profile, an affluent middle-aged woman in the city. Police report the victim reported hearing strange noises and seeing strange phenomenon in the days immediately preceding her death. The interviewing officer suspected due to the victim's strange behavior and involvement in occult matters. Forensic reports, no traces of drugs or poisons from what could be extracted from the body. Further autopsy is still in progress due to the victim's manner of death. Wooldridge. Now that's a familiar name. Have we heard Wooldridge before? Oh. This is one of those ones like I feel like we for sure have. I just don't remember. Are we able to open the case? No, okay, that's fine. I mean, it's obviously just like the main thing you need to know from it. Wait, let me grab out the black light. Do. Wait, did we get something? Hang on. I thought I heard it go off a little bit. Wait. I think it just goes off if you move it very fast, is the thing. Yeah. Anyways, putting that back. All right, let's go back to the records. Put that away. Name, Suzanne Moore, age 40 years old. Manner of death, refusing to drink anything but her own blood. Victim profile, affluent middle-aged woman. The victim's mother reported that the victim was suffering from prolonged paranoid episodes in the days leading to her death. Specifically, the victim was acting erratically and saying strange things. Forensic reports, despite the manner of death, there are no signs of dehydration and or hemochromatosis. No traces of drugs or poison. Blood type unknown. Other blood-related investigations are underway. Note, blood does not contain iron. Weird. Oh, wait, no, record. Wait, so... Hang on, if I take this out and take this out, does this go back? No, this doesn't go back into the proper spot. Oh, hang on. Is there a way like I can like reset these? Because they probably had like the game designers probably had like the pictures lined up with like their appropriate things just to make it easier to keep in track, and I just kind of bungled that all up. Name, Edna Niblet. Niblet is your last name? That's such a fun name. Age 64 years old. Manner of death, gnawing her own... Oh! Until down to the bone. Time of death around 10 a.m. An affluent middle-aged woman in the city. A friend of the victim reported that she visited the victim's residence to drop off an invitation shortly prior to the victim's death. The friend also wanted to check on the victim's well-being as she had allegedly been acting strangely at the party the night before. According to the friend, she witnessed an emotionally charged conversation between the victim and the young factory girl. However, the friend didn't think too much of the interaction at the time. At the crime scene, the invitation card dropped off by the friend was seen close to the victim's corpse and was taken in as evidence. No trace of drug or poison, blood type unknown. Other blood-related investigations are underway. Note, blood does not contain iron. That's so weird, because the book specifies... Because that's not even something I've thought about before, like how fairies can't handle iron, but they like love to suckle on human blood. But it's very specific that the book itself calls out the fact that like the blood and the iron in human blood and the bodies doesn't like do anything like bad to fairies. Yet all the blood just doesn't contain iron for some reason. Oh well, actually no. That's because they're all changelings. Stop it! Just don't. It's because they're changelings. They don't have iron in their blood, is what I'm guessing. Vampire question mark? Well, but it said she was drinking her own... Did it say she was drinking her own blood? I think that's what it specified, was that she was drinking her own blood. Right? I think. And I don't think vampires drink their own blood. Let me record. Yeah, so all the ones that say do not contain iron are the changelings. Let's see this one. Nay, Mary Hatcher, 19 years old. Manner of death. Death from shock due to arsenic poisoning. Oh! Hey guys, I solved the case. She was poisoned by arsenic. It's yet to wrap this one up. Now we just need to go find who did it. I don't think this one's Fae related at all. Time of death around 6 p.m. A young factory girl. Oh, the young factory girl that was being talked to. Okay. Despite not fitting the trend of the previous victim profile, she has been preliminarily included in the case because she was seen having a heated conversation with the third victim shortly before the victim's death. The victim's father described her as not acting like herself in the days before she passed. Shortly before her death, the victim visited the police station. According to the interviewing officer, she seemed to be on the brink of confessing something when a look of terror suddenly crossed her face. She then appeared to change her mind. She hurriedly left the station without saying anything further to the interviewing officers. Oh. Prior to death, the victim suffered from violent abdominal cramping, followed by diarrhea and vomiting, consistent with the effects of arsenic poisoning. Traces of said poison can be found in blood type A, and the glass she was drinking from near the time of death. See, I was right. The glass that was obviously part of the case was obviously part of the case. Blood contains iron and other elements commonly found in human blood. Okay. That's really all that we have right now, right, to go off of? Yeah. So I think that's really all we need from the investigation. Obviously, I'm going to go like this. No, let me go like this. Go like that. And then go like that. And then... Hang on, is this the... I think that this is the one with, like, where she gets bona fide. Yep, bona fide, okay. I just want to make sure that we have all the, records in proper order, just to make it easier for me to keep track of things. So let's just go ahead and go like that. There we go. Oh, we have other things. Oh, we have a lot of other things. Never mind. Oh, I thought it was like that was like the end of the investigation. We're going to like move on to look at other stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull... Let's just look at this. So this middle-aged woman in the collared blouse is the victim. I guess this elderly man in the suit is her father. This elderly woman wearing the cardigan is her mother, I suppose. The bespectacled man is perhaps her brother? Any weird fingering going on here? No, everyone has the proper amounts of digits going on. I mean, that mustache is a crime, but outside of that, there's nothing really bad going on right now. Right? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alright, I'm going to put this one back. That was a weird choice of words. Wait, what do you mean? And so this middle-aged woman with the pearls is the victim. I guess this elderly man with facial hair is her father. This elderly woman with the fur collar is her mother, I suppose. This other man in the darker suit is maybe her brother. Okay. Oh. Hang on. I allowed it. It was giving a warning, be like, do you want to allow this for the sexual context? I was like, yeah, for this one I will. I didn't mean it that way. My bad. Oh, that's so funny. Jenny, like, got like so locked in. I didn't realize I said that when you brought it up. I was like, what the frick are you talking about? What did I do word so weirdly that you had to bring it up like that? My bad. My B. Our favorite streamer. Oh, thank you. I do my best. Hey, you can blame the game. I got too locked in. I was too distracted. Okay. Why are these included? Thank you for pointing that out to me, so that I could be aware of my transgressions. What are you? Never seen it. Oh, this is like a fairy coin or something like that. It's so fake coded. Never seen a coin like, you know, outside of the fact of like, well, actually, is gold bad for fairies? I don't think it is, right? I don't know. Never seen a coin like this before. It looks, wait, what did she say? It looks rare. Okay. Let me go ahead and pull out our secret tools that we're going to use for later. Oh, Toodles. Oh. Oh, hello. Huh? What's happening? boo, 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 boo. Wait. Saying black light illumination on an object imbued with fairy magic may reveal intricate details with certain complex spells. Okay, so it's... Which shade of purple is this? I think that goes on a scale... It's like on this one, I think? What does that tell us? It tells us it's a 5. Moving on. Or is it a 4? It could be a 4. Or a 6. Sorry, not a 4, but a 6. It could be a 6. Anyways. This texture looks interesting. Nothing else to say? Okay, so it's obviously imbued with Fae magic. I wish that we had, like, more of an idea of, like, what these, like, different, like, I think only iron was bad. Yeah, probably. I've always just, like, associated with, like, metal in general, but it is, like, mostly... It's, like, very specified to just, like, specifically be iron. So, like, that is very fair. I was kind of hoping that she'd have a little bit more to say there. And, again, I wish we had, like, more knowledge of, like, what all of these mean. Oh, wait. Beneath the Blacklight Scribe magic appears blue, warrior magic appears red, and parasite magic appears purple or violet. Okay, never mind. Hey, idiot. Read the page, and then you'll know. So again, obviously, again, just very, very, very heavily leaning towards, like, this being, like, parasite going on. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Whip out the black light. Okay. So I don't think... I think that was the game telling us, like, nothing is weird about it. Yeah, nothing weird's going on here. What is this, though? I've seen this makeup powder somewhere recently. It's from Nectar Bell. This must have belonged to one of them, but which? I wonder if the owner likes the box design and carrying it around in her pocket since it's already used up. Perhaps the chemist have some interesting insights for, since her family owns the brand. Wait, hang on. Repeat which ones this was from. Soothing power from Nectar Bell. This must belong to belong to one of them, but which? What if the owner likes the box design and is carrying it around in her pocket since it's already used up? Perhaps the chemist may have some interesting insight. Okay, so let me go ahead and go. Let's just put, like, these thoughts together really quick. Maybe we could find it. No, I mean, there's nothing that immediately stands out in either of these pictures about it. To be fair, it'd be really weird to have this, like, out and about in one of these. I don't really think that there's anything in the pictures themselves that, like, the other pictures, I mean, that would actually, like, give any credence to whose that is. So I think we're going to move on from it for now, and we'll come back to it in just a second. Now, I know from the trailers and the gifs that we've seen that this has some fairy going on. Oh, yeah. And this is the wedding ring that was on one of the thingies of the person who is drained. Wedding ring seems to be made out of gold. Okay. So another golden object. Yes, this is our black light. Okay, let's go record. Put that one back. I'm gonna guess that this probably isn't going to have any, like, magic on it anywhere. Wherever that sound pops up, it makes me think that something's happening. My patron invited me to this event. I'm still uncertain if I want to attend. Annual Loy's Gala, Saturday, 8 o'clock. Formal attire requested. Alright, let's go ahead and put this one back, and then... No, okay. No. 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 Okay, I don't think it's apparent whose that box belongs to just yet. You know, the thingy. The thing. Wait, is that how I described something? Did I just go the thingy? The thingy. The thingies, I'm sure. Yes, This is, you guys can tell my brain is working at 110 capacity right now. Dude, let's go look at the thingy. See, that's what I'm glad y'all are here to point out these things to me, because I never would have clocked on the nonsense that I'm saying. Oh, this is fun. This is fun because again, I'm generally like getting so invested in like trying to like piece all these things together that I'm just kind of mumbling and rambling to myself, not really even like thinking about the fact that I am giving commentary to people. His brain going crazy, lol. Oh no, it for real is. It's going kind of crazy right now. Okay. I think for now, we've kind of uncovered all the things we have. Like, this is like our very first like day. I don't think we're supposed to have the investigation like covered at this point. Dude, if we do, if we're supposed to, God, that'd be so embarrassing. If I was supposed to have everything pieced together. Like, obviously, I'm like 99% sure that we have all the pieces of like the actual like perpetrators. Well, kind of. Because to me it's like obvious that like the people who were killed were actually like the changelings, and that these women were replaced like sometime in the past already. So like that part of the case is kind of closed, but the parts of the case that isn't closed is why they're being killed now, like what who's killing them now essentially, and why. Like, it could be fair to say that, like, the other two fairy clans are the ones killing them, like the scribe and the warrior clans. But, you know, we just kind of have to, like, find, like, a motivation for that first, because, like, all we really have to go off of is, like, they don't like each other. Ooh, and it's, like, that's not really enough to go off of, like, imagine taking that into court of being like, Your Honor, my evidence is that, they didn't like each other. Case closed, am I right? Granted, there are definitely some court cases where that would actually like be all that you need, is like that they don't like each other, but that's, you know, not for now, not for now. But outside, like, there's still like other questions like about the coin and like the source of the coin, and the makeup box. We don't know whose makeup box that is, and then the pictures. The pictures seem like so nondescript. Like, obviously, it's like bringing up the fact like these will be people that we can talk to later and interrogate probably. But outside that, there's like nothing to really go off of there. So obviously, this case isn't anywhere close to being closed yet. But yeah, so I think we're gonna end investigation. Confirm. Okay, I'm scared. Oh my gosh, we've been here for so long. It's already night. I generally just looked out my window to be like, how much time has passed? It hasn't been that long. It wasn't that long. A knock on the door makes me glance up from my desk. I realize the sun has set while I've been absorbed in the investigation. Come in. My assistant enters the office. Dr. Rayford has arrived to drop off the blood samples, and she wants to talk to you. Already? Yeah, she's just out the door. I must say, I'm pleasantly surprised at her work speed. Alright, send her in. Minnie nods. She returns to the reception area. Hello! Dr. Florence Rayford enters. It has only been 3 years since she has worked at this university, but she has proven her reliability more often than not. Good evening, Professor. Good evening, Doctor. Dr. Rayford hands over the blood samples. She also gives me her lab report. Here you go. Thank you. So, what have you found? The most peculiar thing is that there is no iron in one of the blood samples. Say, is this fairy related? Her question prompts me to ask myself, to what extent of the case can I divulge to her? Theo did say I may ask the patron for her information using some of the evidence. Although she has knowledge of fairies and their curses, she can handle seeing the crime scenes She can handle seeing crime scene photographs. Can she handle it? Ugh. Oh my gosh, that was terrible to read. As I return from my thoughts, I notice her voice has taken on a higher pitch. This is so exciting! Are you working with the police? Does this mean you will get better credibility in the eyes of the public? Oh my, we're going to be in the newspapers, aren't we? And we're not in the usual corner spots, too. Oh, I can hardly contain myself. It appears she took my silence as a yes. It's good that she's excited about the possibilities of advancements for Faeology, but her cheerful disposition can sometimes be rather overstimulating. As if on cue, a knock on the door arrives to spare me. The sound is familiar, more familiar than when my assistant knocks. Special delivery. Mr. Henkel's hands are empty. And what pray might you be bringing for me? Is it you? Are you the special delivery, Mr. Henkel? If you wish to call me special, then I certainly won't stop you. But I did bring a box of huckleberry muffins for your office. Minerva was instantly enamored by the buttery scent. She's currently feasting on them. We can only hope she'll leave a muffin apiece for the rest of us. Oh, hello there, Florence. I didn't expect to see you in this office. Hello, Mr. Henkel. Fancy seeing you here. Although you do have a habit of making this office your sole stop on campus. She chuckles. That's just because this is where all my money went. A well-spent investment nonetheless. He makes a retort to Dr. Rayford, but throws a subtle smile in my direction. How cheeky. So, Florence, what's been occupying your time as of late? She looks at me briefly, possibly wondering whether she should tell him about what she did for me. The usual matters, I suppose. I tried asking your father about the last soiree. However, he confessed he didn't have the faintest idea. You must tell me more about your chemical research one of these days. The colorful pursuit of the young academics thrill me to no end. You know I can't share all that much, Mr. Henkel. Unless, of course, you find yourself in the position to become the chemistry department benefactor. Then all of the secrets are yours. A more playful giggle escapes her lips this time. I'm afraid I'm all tapped out, financially speaking. Oh, I'm not buying that one, not for a second. He's telling fibs, isn't he, Professor? And I certainly don't want to get in the middle of the money talk of the rich. I wish I had that information, Doctor. It would make proposing the research much easier with a bit of delicate leverage. Naturally. Mr. Henkel laughs in amusement. I feel I should ask the reason he's here before the conversation takes an odd turn. 10 out of 10 reading. Thank you. I do my best. On another note, Dr. Henkel, did you get my letter? Is that the real reason you dropped by? Upon recalling that I asked Oz to insert the letter into his mailbox only this afternoon, I'm about to retract these questions. Unexpectedly, though, he bows his head in assent. Your words have always had this immersive impact on me. Perhaps that is why you are such an effective educator. Whenever I encounter your written language, I long to hear it spoken post haste. Are you putting a spell on your letters by any chance? I think you're the one with all the spells, Mr. Henkel. Your muffins, for one, have always been successful in getting Minnie's guard down. Oh dear, you two are making me blush. I suppose it's time to take my leave and let you both be. I'm due somewhere shortly, anyhow. Wait, you redeemed hats off to you? Okay, so do you want me to take Mimo off, or do you want me to put the cat ears on? Well, I guess that'd be the same thing. Do you want me to put the cat ears on now? Is that what you want? Cat boy? Alright, let me do it. Let me, boop. And then let me go ahead and indeed. Oh, wait, what the freak? Apparently I had 2 instances of VTube Studio open this entire time. Might be, my bad. Lamau, lol. Okay, let me go ahead and dupe. Oh wait, this would be even funnier. Hang on. Select. Wait, can I like control select on these? No, you can't. Cringe. Okay. Wait. Wait, no, hang on. This is being so stupid, but I have a way better way to figure out how to do this to make this look like way freaking better. Hang on. How do I? Okay, let me go like this. Go like this, and then I'm going to go boop. Oh wait, item order. Okay. Wait. Oh, there it is. Wait, is this good? I think that this is good. Hang on. Because I'm just trying to make this as realistic as possible, you know? Okay, now let me go like this. Okay, thank God. Do that. And I'm throwing in a little extra something. I'm throwing in a little bit extra. Oh wait, what? Oh wait, never mind. It's not. Hang on. It's not letting me do the thing that I wanted to do. Never mind. Hang on. Let me fix these really quick. Um, Hang on. I'm way overcomplicating this, but I think it's gonna be funny. I think it's gonna be worth it is the thing. Let me just go ahead and go like that. And then I'm gonna do like this. And then I'm gonna do this. Hang on, hang on, hang on. This is so stupid. Do 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 do. Like that. There we go. Oh, wait, what? This didn't pin to my head. Hang on. Things aren't pinning successfully. There we go. There we go. Okay, okay, it's working. It's working. It's working. This is taking so long, and it's so not going to be worth the effort. But again, I'm doing a little extra. Hang on, hang on, hang on. And it just wasn't working proper. No, I didn't mean to grab that. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Oh, no, no, hang on. Things are breaking. Pin to my head, please. There we go. There we go. Oh my gosh. It's perfect. Perfect. Hang on. There we go. Wait, 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 wait. Yay, I've been struck by ads. No, I have returned. Oh, oh noes. Lol. Hang on, hang on. No, 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 no. Perfect. Perfect timing for that. Blanc. Hello. I am here. Oh, you can barely even see it. Hang on. Hang on. Also, my ears. Wait, wait, wait. Hang on. I would disappear for just another second. Hang on. I need to fix things. Hang on. I go like this. I need it to be leveled with this. There we go. And I'm going to move this slightly more over so y'all can see it just a little bit better. I also have a tail. I also have a tail. He's back. That's cute. Peak. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I tried. See again, I thought it was gonna be worth it. I was trying to figure out how to get the tail to work better. I was trying to actually like get the ears put behind my hair because that'd make more sense instead of having my ears on my forehead essentially, and it just wasn't looking good. So I was like, no, no, no. Okay, I'll refix things, put things on my head. And then I was like, but I also have the tail. I also have the tail for you guys. So now I really am y'all's cat boy. Oh, best stream today so far. Thank you. I do my best. I do this for all of you out there. So no, I'm having a great time. Again, as soon as I was looking through my stuff, like, oh, I do have the cat tail. I was like, I gotta use it. I gotta use it. I just think it like completes the image personally. So yeah, I know. I'm adorable. Also, the cat that these ears specifically just match me so well, I feel. Mm-mm-mm. So thank you. Thank you. Good call on this, Andrew. Good call on this. Maybe that'll just become its own redeem. Maybe that'll just be its own redeem of Catboy. I could also be a bunny boy. I do have also bunny ears, and I think a few other things. So we definitely do some other things like this. But yeah, no, for sure. I'm so smart. No, for real. You are so smart. For real. For real. Bunny. I do have bunny ears that we could put on at some point too. So that's always going to be an option. Maybe I should also try to get whiskers. Oh, should that be something I try to do? Should I see if I can get like whiskers made? Should that be a thing? We just go like full furry on it. I'm scared and intrigued. Well, hey, just save up another 1,000 points, and then you can put me in the bunny ears. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. So I have no problems against it. I'll dress up for your guys' entertainment. But yeah, with that being said, except again, for some reason my left ear, but from your perspective, the right ear, it doesn't like clip onto my head correctly, so it's weird. It's weird, bro. Wait, what? What? What'd I say, bro? What? Oh, funny words. Oh, because I said I'd dress up for your guys' amusement. Listen, is that not what this is? Did I not put these on for you? Are you not entertained? I feel like it was a very listen. That time the sussy words were slightly intentional. Kind of, not really, but like I'll admit to it that time. But it is just what's happening. I did this. I did this for all of you. So, I mean, true, indeed, exactly, exactly. With that being said, let's go ahead and get back on into it. I suppose it's time I take my leave and let you both be. I'm due somewhere shortly anyhow. Oh no, that might not be necessary. Oh no, that's him saying it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't stay long either. Mr. Henkel lapses into silence as he continues staring into my eyes. It's difficult to maintain eye contact with him, but even harder to look away. I wonder what I should do. I ought to discuss the case, but both of them seem to be in a hurry. Should I tell Mr. Henkel to return at another day since I need to have an important conversation with Dr. Rayford right away? Or should I dismiss the chemist and meet with my patron now? There are benefits to either choice. Soliciting Dr. Henker's opinion on the case may be a good idea. She could share more insight on the chemistry side of the case. Her parents own a successful company that produces the powder, makeup, and evidence. She would also know the social happenings among the wealthy elites. On the other hand, Mr. Henkel is also a viable candidate for an interview. His connections within high society know no bounds. Everybody seems to know him one way or another. He might know things Dr. Rayford doesn't. Since he has been funding my research for a long time, he's also more familiar with fairy topics. Whom should I interview? Oh, this also brings an excellent, like, I was going to go like, oh, it's Dr. Rayford right away, of like, all the blood stuff, like, it's probably important to know, but the fact that he's, like, very specifically, like, knows more about, like, the Fae stuff, I'm like, oh, that one does give him a lot of good perks right there, because I'm just curious, like, obviously there's more things to know from the actual blood tests, but I'm also like, I don't know. I feel like it's also a good idea to try and keep Mr. Henkel happy, especially since we literally did just say, hey dog, you know this party you invited me to like months ago that's happening tomorrow? I still don't know if I can go, you know? So like I think it might be a good idea to like interview him and kind of like get more on his good side. So Mr. Henkel, would you mind staying for a while? I'd like to discuss something. Not at all. I'd be delighted. I turned back towards the chemist. Dr. Rayford, thanks again for analyzing these samples. Your assistance has been invaluable. Please don't let me keep you any longer today. You're quite welcome. I'm always happy to help. After bidding Mr. Henkel a swift farewell, Dr. Rayford is out the door in no time. What do you want to talk about, my dear Faeologist? I gesture towards a large box on my desk. It's a box of evidence for multiple murder cases. Is it from Detective Kraus? Detective Kraus? It is indeed. He brought it to me this morning. You haven't seen the detective in months, have you? How'd that visit go? Better than I could have hoped, honestly. Like, despite the few, like, snarky comments, we did get along decently well. You know, it wasn't really all that bad. I expected more bitterness and distasteful arguments like we'd had in the last couple of months of our relationship. He was more composed than I thought. Yet perhaps it was because of this particular case weighing on his mind. Mr. Henkel listened to me quietly, but it's hard to tell what he is thinking from his phlegmatic expression. Alright, tell me about the case. How can I help? After binding my patron to secrecy, I rattle out the basic facts of the homicide. I believe I might have heard a bit about this case. Not the gory details, mind you. Just little whispers here and there. Yes, I was hoping you'd be familiar with some of the parties involved. I wanted to show you something. Please share any knowledge you might have about the evidence. Sure, I can do that. Okay, so now we can go... Wait, office? Desk. Record. Okay, so we can just show him all of the things. Okay. We have the... There we go. Okay, yeah, we know we have a couple of things. Oh, hello. Welcome in, Flowey. How is it going today? How's your day been going? Oh, a detective game? Yes, no, we are playing Death and Faeology, a dark academia murder mystery all about fairies, which is very exciting. You missed it. Apparently, I was rambling a lot of terrible things, and like just not smart things while I was trying to figure out the cases. So you missed that. So turns out detective games are a struggle for not smart people. There we go. How terrible. I knew Madame Woldridge well. As you undoubtedly know, her family hosts the city's biggest charity event every year. They tell me the fundraiser will be moving despite the tragedy in the family. According to my sources, she loved that event dearly and definitely would have wanted it to proceed. How do you ever know her dabble? Did you ever know her to dabble in occult matters? Knowing this woman as I did, I doubt it. If it would help, however, I've heard several elites are members of clandestine occult groups. I've only heard the name, the Golden Dawn. Hardly anyone knows about its existence. But you do have your ways of knowing, don't you? I say teasingly, and he responds with a sly smirk. I do indeed. Wait, I missed you being an idiot? Hey, you don't gotta worry about that. There's 1.5 billion more chances for that to happen, so... Man, so I didn't miss much. You're like that all the time. Exactly. Exactly what I was trying to say. Oh, how awful. I was familiar with Madame Moore. Through the grapevine, I heard the devastating news of her death. I often interacted with the exceptional woman and her sprightly spouse at high society events. They are both gracious individuals. Dang, we're really just gonna question him on literally everything right now. Did you know this woman? I did. She was a fine, upstanding lady. She certainly didn't deserve such a gruesome ending. She was known among her peers for her rare coin collection. Oh, so she's the one who had the coin that burned under the blacklight. Okay. From what I've heard, you can see her collection displayed in every inch of her house. Are you familiar with this girl? No, I've never seen her before. Whoever this girl is, I express my sincerest condolences. This is the first time Mr. Henkel and I are talking about something this gruesome, even though I've known him for a long time. Yet he has spoke his condolences while seeing the corpse's photographs. His face remained blank, as if his words never reached his expression. His eyes didn't even flinch. How odd. I wonder if his lack of empathy is just a trait of being in the upper class. Unironically, probably. I've heard that there's like more like studies being looked into right now of like the psychological effect of being that wealthy and the way like it like dehumanizes the upper class from like the lower class people, and the inverse of how like once you get to a certain point of being upper class, you just kind of start like seeing people of the lower class or like the people around you, like you start like humanizing them less. This is a photograph of Miss Moore and her family. What can you tell me about the people in this picture? I believe this elderly couple is her adoptive parents. I've never really talked to them, but I hear they're kind, wonderful people. Biologically, Madame Moore was born as a so-called miracle baby to wealthy parents of advanced age. When they passed away, she had no other family members by blood. She was thus adopted by a middle-class couple who were trusted employees of her biological parents, or so I've heard. Upon coming of age, she received her sizable inheritance and wedded a recently rich entrepreneur of humble origins. This is her widower in the photograph. He's said to be extremely close to his parents-in-law. Okay. This is a photograph of Miss Woolridge's family. All of the faces here are familiar to me. I must express my deepest sympathies when I see them at the Lloyd's Gala. Can you tell me more about the people in this picture? The Woolridges are perhaps one of the most prominent and powerful families in the city. The victim's father was in the running to be the richest in the world until he decided to devote much of his wealth to lavish charitable endeavors. This elderly woman is the victim's stepmother, a beautiful socialite for whom the victim's father divorced her biological mother. This younger man is the victim's stepbrother. Okay. Coin collection. Yeah, we found a very cursed coin. This one, it got burnt when you put it under a light because it has Fey magic attached to it. So that's why I like that's how you kind of piece it all together like that. Okay, yeah, yeah. So she deserved to get killed. What a wild take that one is, Flowey. What the freak do you have against coin collections? Seems like this really isn't a coin, is it? Okay. Is this the one from that popular brand? Nectar Bell? That's the one. Although that's all I know about it. Okay. Boop. My, this is very bold of you. Are you sure you want to be bound to me forever? Says you, asking that question knowing full well this ring isn't mine. He laughs wholeheartedly. So, who is it? Mrs. Moore. All I can tell you is that she and her husband were always attached at the hip. 2 peas in a pod. Okay. So this is definitely, like, this is kind of panning out exactly as I thought it kind of would. The most of the things he's telling us is about, like, the very, like, social standings of everyone, how everyone kind of gets along, all the people in the pictures and everything like that. I was hoping he'd be able to tell us more about the coin, though, and be like, mayhaps it's a spell or a curse or, like, maybe it's, like, some kind of, like, connection or something to the Fey magic or just something like that to give us just a little bit more juicy stuff. What the freak is hype? Wait, what? No. I was like, hype train? What the freak is a hype train? Well, I know what a hype train is. I've just never seen it happen here before. Okay, it's just an emote. It's just an emote. Faye, what the heck is this game? Hype train. So basically, it is, again, like I said it before, it's called Death and Faeology. So it's just a big murder mystery game that takes place in 1920s New York under the pretenses that Fae and a lot of like Fae folk like creatures are like real. And we are a Faeologist who was approached by a detective, also our ex-fiance, to help uncover a case that has like very clear connections to the Fae. Although he's still trying to take the approach of like, no, this is like science, baby. And we're like, no, magic. When I heard coin, for some reason, I thought of a certain villain. Oh, the Riddler. Oh, okay, okay. Why are you showing me this invitation? Is this your way of confirming that you'll be my date? Should I lock it down? But I don't know. I don't think we should keep. I don't think we should confirm it though. We definitely shouldn't confirm it though, because my thought process is like it would be obviously be like oh, Two-Face. Oh, that's what I meant. Not the Riddler. Not the Riddler. I meant Two-Face. My bad. My bad. Is it's probably a very good idea to go to like talk with the people who like actually like knew the victims and everything like that, see if we can find out more. But I'm going to guess that the game's going to be a little sneaky and try to hit us with like a little surprise, like, oh, there's this other thing that you could go to instead. Ha ha ha. That kind of thing. Why does the game keep doing that? Why is it? It's whenever I'm like clicking and like I'm trying to like check on like the YouTube chats and everything, and then like all the music fades out. This reminds me of Telltale games. I mean, that's kind of like just kind of what visual novels are. It's just a bunch of like you make your own choices, and like changes the outcome of the story. Although a lot of the visual novels actually do it a lot more than Telltale games. Like, and I say this as someone who does enjoy like like the Walking Dead games a decent amount. I do think that the most visual novels do a better job of actually like making your choices have impact. So that's why I don't want to like. I think for the sake of the demo, we'll confirm the date because again, I think it would be a really good idea. No, keep him hanging. Rather than confirming or denying anything, I simply flash an enigmatic smile. Still playing hard to get, I see. Okay. What's this one? Oh, that's just our... This is just our book, right? I just want to see what he says. Oh, I see, this is interesting indeed. I can see why the detective came to you with this case. Okay. Now let's show him the blood. I bet he's just gonna be like, oh, I don't know how to do anything with blood. I'm sure Florence knows more than I do when it comes to analyzing biological samples. Does he say it for both of them? Probably, right? Yeah, exactly. Alright, so I think that's going to be the End of the interview. Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and that's all the information I think that we need. I have no further questions. I believe I have enough information for now. Already? Yes, Mr. Henkel. Earlier you mentioned you had a prior arrangement. So I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for your time. You've been incredibly helpful. I'm delighted I could be of assistance. Reach out to me if you need anything else. I'll see you soon, yes? I give him a brief nod. Mr. Henkel then leaves my office. I'm alone again, but not for long. My assistant pops into the office. Professor, I'm heading home soon. Is there anything else I can do to help? No, I'll be perfectly fine. I think I'll stay and work for a bit longer. Okay, see you tomorrow, Professor. Have a safe trip home. Upon wishing me the same, Minnie leaves. Oh, hydrate? Oh, thank you, thank you. Which, oh gods, are you not want you to play? What does that even mean? Does that just mean that? Oh, and Andrew with the hydrate. Okay. I thought you were going to save up for the bunny ears, Andrew. I thought that was what you wanted. I don't know why I said that. I don't know what I said. Yeah, I don't know what you said either. I don't know if that was like a... I couldn't tell if that was like a hyping endorsement for the Telltale games or being like, oh god, please don't ever play those games. Ah. I have some time until I wrap up my work for the day and head home from the office. Okay, but like... What records? The issue is I just don't like have anything else to really go over right now. Can I do any kind of analyzing on the blood myself? I mean, let me pull these out. Tools. I wonder if the backlight will like actually like, say anything, because like if these do come from fairy, maybe like they'll glow. Oh, okay, yep. There we go. They sure do be a glowing, but this one's normal. Okay, let's see whose blood this is then. Arsenic, huh? Okay, so this was the, so this is all just lining up exactly with what I said of, like, this is the factory girl who died from the arsenic, who wasn't one of the changelings, and then this one is one of the changelings. I read somewhere that most insects don't have iron in their blood. Most insects? Oh my gosh, is that some kind of fae? Wowza. Okay, so, record, is there anything else that we need to look at, though? I'm just curious, like, mate, let's... Hang on. Case number 4, Miss Hatcher. I do, but you gotta get water. Well, okay. You know, that's fair, that's fair. I love the Telltale Walking Dead games. I did too. Me and, well, I like the first 2 a lot. I haven't played any more than that. I think, like, I didn't like many of the ones that came after The Walking Dead in terms of the Telltale games. Outside of The Wolf Among Us. Granted, I haven't played The Wolf Among Us since I was, like, how old was I? Like, really, really young, it feels. But one of the times, like, ways that me and my friend first played through them is his TV didn't have any volume on it. So we just kind of like what we're doing right now, where we just kind of like voice acted the characters. Like we just assigned each other like a certain amount of characters, and we just voice acted for them. And that was like actually like so much fun to go through together. Like, is anything else going to be like said about this? Dr. Heckel mentioned about Golden Dawn. I should tell Theo about this. Okay, yeah, so we are going to get like some different things. Let's just really quickly take a peek through these. Honestly, that should be something we play on the channel though, because I've never played like the later seasons or like the ending of it. I have no idea how like everything ends. The last thing I know is like the end of season 2. Mrs. Moore and her husband seems like delightful individuals. Okay. The coin, it seems the coin and the evidence is hers. Okay. And we still don't know whose the makeup box is. Hello? Game? Dr. Henkel didn't know her at all. Okay. So we're kind of just like going back over all of the things that we learned from the interview. The man in the darker suit seems to be the husband of the victim, the one with the pearls. He's supposedly close to his in-laws. I do really appreciate this though, actually, because like, I'm sure that like the relationships between the people in the picture is actually going to play a big part. I was not going to remember it all after hearing it one time. This means the other two are the victims' adoptive parents. Okay, I don't need to keep clicking on that. Let's just go back to the ish. So this middle-aged woman in the colored blouse and the elder man in the suit are father and daughter related by blood, and the other two are stepmother and stepbrother. I wonder if that's going to play any part of it, like the changelings or anything. I kind of doubt it, but it's like, it's worth maybe theorizing about. I like that it's still smoking. This texture looks... Okay, so nothing else to say about that. And then... I doubt it, but let's just check. Mr. Henkel knows that this is a popular brand. Okay. Yeah, I think that's really all that we need to go over. Let's just check the cases. Oh, I guess there's the ring. I can't even begin to imagine how her husband was... Okay, about his soulmate. Let's go ahead and check the cases to see if she has anything like to say about them in general. Okay, no, it's just like the same things. Okay. Now that's a familiar name. Okay, let's go ahead and just put everything back in order. Yeah, is there anything else to look at? No. Okay, let's put our tools away, and then I think we'll end the investigation there. Because there really wasn't too much else to go over with that one. It's the next afternoon. I should be grading assignments, or reviewing the lecture I'm going to deliver come Monday, or do anything productive in the realm of professorial duties. Instead, I find my attention straying more and more towards the office door. I voice my frustration to good old Oz. Theo will probably arrive at any moment. I can't stop wondering whether my explanation will be enough for him. In the past, no sort of explanation ever seemed to please him when it came to fairies. And why should it do so now? My voice cracks with concern. This time he came to you bearing in mind the possibility of fairy involvement. He'd be a fool to discredit you so soon. My fairy companion's chirping becomes increasingly stern this time. But you need to get yourself together. You must remain steadfast and strong when facing the detective. Don't permit your voice to falter when presenting your findings. I know I can't let myself unravel at this point. It's just that he's never solicited my opinion quite in this manner. Professional insight, no less. All the more reason to be as calm as you can. Maintaining your composure is essential to delivering a persuasive argument. But no matter what happens, at least you know you tried. At the end of the day, he's the one who needs to solve this case. You're right. Of course you are. I'm not a detective. I'm simply a professor sharing my perspective. Thank you, Oz, for always talking me off the ledge. Just then, somebody knocks on the door. That's my cue to sail past your window. That's my cue to sail past your window ledge. Best of luck. I whisper a hurried goodbye to my fairy friend. I'll see you tonight, Oz. That was supposed to be a whisper. I'm like, the loudest I've spoken for her. Once Oz is flown out, I direct my attention towards the door. Come in. My assistant marches in. Professor, you have a visitor. The detective? Minnie nods. All right, send him in. Minnie nods once again and walks out of the room. Theo paces around a little bit. After strolling in, he appears quite distracted. He finally stops and opens his mouth. So, what have you learned? I take a deep breath. Here it goes. I have to present my findings to perhaps the most sought-after detective in the police force. Oh, so no pressure. No pressure. None at all. Oh, I hope that I have like this locked down enough to actually succeed in this. Theo investigates cases right where the crime scenes unfold. He's agonizingly familiar with the grit and the grime of the city's darkest recesses. Meanwhile, as a professor, my expertise primarily revolves around the nebulous, the theoretical. I must do my best to stay calm and collected, just as Oz suggested. I've read the case files. Victims' odd behaviors shortly before death could be due to hypnotic spells from fairies. The fourth victim went to the police station, but before she said anything, it seemed she saw something that scared her away. What if she saw something not human? In the manner of death, he interrupts me before I can finish. I have no time for assumptions. The papers telephoned our department this morning, said they found out found out about some of these deaths. So that's why he looks agitated. The chief is preparing a statement for tomorrow regarding this. So I'll just cut to the chase. Is there fairy involvement? Yes. Yes. 1010% yes. Yes, I'm certain of it. I can tell his interest is piqued. However, I'd like to first lay out the basics since I'm pretty sure you discarded the things I've told you in the past. He grumbles as if in admission to my statement. So far we've identified 3 classes of fairies: warrior, scribe, and parasitic fae. Warriors have strong offensive magic, scribe magics tend to be defensive, and parasitic magic as well, parasitic. We Faeologists have developed a tool called Black Light to detect traces of Fae magic. It can even be detected through photographs if the magic is especially strong. I didn't realize that. I should have used the backlight on the photographs. Oh no. Specifically that of like the family pictures. Oh no. Oh, that's totally gonna bite us. That's totally gonna bite us so hard. Warrior magic glows red, scribe magic blue, and parasitic magic shines purple. Oh, it's so gonna tell us which one did it. Ooh. I found that seemingly fairies of one specific class are behind this. Which one is the culprit? Okay, well we're just gonna be the parasitic fae. They're of the parasitic class. What is the evidence? Well, all of these actually. Texture coin, ring. Again, all of these. But I'm gonna start. I think that the third victim's blood sample is the strongest case of that, just because it's literally a blood sample. It's the human being doesn't have iron in their blood, something that like all people have. Along with that, it does have the signs of Fey magic. So I kind of feel like it works on both like the scientific logical side and the supernatural side of evidence. How does this prove parasitic involvement? I slot the blood sample beneath the backlight and show the magic traces. You see, it glows under the backlight. I can see the purple traces, but what about this red glow? I'm taking a moment to collect my thoughts. You're right, I missed the red glow. Fuh. What else you got? Textured coin. How does this prove parasitic involvement? I invite Theo to see the textured coin under the backlight. The texture is of Fey, and you see it glows under the backlight. I can see purple traces, but what of this red glow? I have to think about this once again. You're right, it seems I've missed it. I didn't notice... Am I colorblind? I didn't notice any of like the red glows on these things. The look on his face says it all. He's profoundly disappointed. I swallow back a lump rising in my throat. Clearly you haven't been thorough in your investigations. Either you're missing important things, or you just don't take this as seriously as I thought. But I do take it seriously. If I could just reinvestigate. It's hard to get any sentences out of my mouth. No words of mine could ease the way he sees me now. It doesn't matter. We're running out of time. I couldn't find proof of it being unusual drugs or poisons either. Even the most atypical drugs don't cause this kind of bizarre hallucinations. No poison could turn the whole body into hardened bones. His eyes narrow on me, full of quiet accusations. Honestly, I can't believe this. You've dedicated many, many years to the study of forensic Faeology, and this is all you have to show for it? What are you... I know you're clever, capable, competent, but you ought to consider changing your field. You're not cut out for forensics. I feel like I'm starting to see red. Dog, me too. I genuinely didn't notice any of the red glows. That's why I didn't like say it was like... Because that was even like my like theories going into it of like... The victims were all the changelings. That's like a big thing. But then it was probably one of the other two like things that did it, but I didn't notice any of the red glows that I would have associated with the warriors. Oh no. Oh no. I can't believe he's bringing up my profession this way. I know I messed up. But you just crossed a goddamn line. He knows I try my best given the limited time, but he just keeps hammering away. It hits me all over again how easy it is for him to make me feel really small. I'm just laying down the facts. In the douchiest way possible, dog. He says it so nonchalantly, as if he doesn't see the effect of his opinion on me. I can't do this anymore. My anger is beyond containment. I never want to see you again. Get out. Fine by me. I don't plan on ever coming back to this office anyhow. Upon picking up the box of evidence, Theo turns to leave. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. He slams it. I find myself striding restlessly in my room, seething with frustration. Perhaps this is for the best. After all, there's a reason I walked away, and it's all coming back to me. As I was steadying my breath to calm down, I realized something. I am explaining Dr. Raythard's finding on the blood samples, how it could be fairy blood, and the significance of the scribe's sigils on prominent families. Even more, Mr. Henkel gave me top-secret information on clandestine occult groups in the upper class. I didn't have the chance to tell him all that. Well, so be it. I'm going to write him, or I'm not going to write him or telephone him. Perhaps I'll just write an anonymous letter to the homicide department. First, I ought to finish grading the assignments that I neglected yesterday. Ellipses. Oh, it's been an hour and a half since I forced myself to get back to work, yet my anger hasn't subsided. Then it strikes me. I'm no more angry at Theo than I am at myself. How did I fail this? Why wasn't I thorough enough? Still, that doesn't give him the right to talk to me like that. No, for sure. Stand up for yourself right now. I bury myself in your head. Stand up for yourself in your head right now. I bury my face in my hands as I realize that I've merely been spinning in circles. Professor, is this a bad time? Not for you, ever. There's never a bad time for you. I look up at her in shock. When did she get here? I knocked, then waited for a minute. It then occurred to me that perhaps you didn't hear me. Oh, sorry. My mind is more than a little preoccupied. The detective had an intensely brooding expression when he left. I figured that the meeting didn't go well. I can stay longer today if you need to talk. Thanks, Minnie. I'm not sure about talking, but I could use some company. Of course, Professor. Would you like me to fetch us a bottle? Sure. Any preference? Whichever bottle is biggest. Or whichever has the highest alcohol content. Oh, and we got a bad end. Ending number 6, Bottle Blues. Oh, wait. The thing said that there was 7 endings. I can't believe we got we got number 6. Okay. Death and Faeology. Hang on, we gotta go back in. We gotta go back in. We gotta go back in. Hang on. I didn't save at any point during any of that. No, it's fine. We're just gonna spam through. We're just gonna spam through. We're gonna be Lana again. There we go. Proceed. Okay. Okay, yeah. So we're just gonna spam through these things, and we're just gonna take a little bit more of a thorough look at all of the evidence things with the backlight specifically, because I didn't notice any of those lights. I didn't take the backlight to the photos. I didn't even think of using the backlight on the photo. So that's just like a massive issue on my part. Is that's something I should have at least thought about. Granted, I feel like it makes sense as to why I didn't think about it in terms of like the photos from the crime scenes themselves, because in my brain I was like, there won't be any Fae involvement in like the police doing that. But even then, like, maybe we could find something there. Like maybe there's like some kind of like Fae collusion on the police force. You know what I mean? But in terms of like the actual like the photos that we got, like it's like other evidence points. Yeah, I'm also just gonna make all the same decisions that we made last time. And then this time when we get towards once we actually get to the point of like investigation, I'm going to do saves there. I want to do saves at all the investigation points. Ask more about his thoughts. Yep, there we go. So that's going to be the plan. Also, I can't believe how invested I got into that. While playing through this, I was like, oh, I see why people love the Ace Attorney games so much. Like, if they play anything like this, or like the same kind of like mystery elements to them of like solving the cases, and like that was like so like gripping. I was like so determined to like look through all the evidence and find everything, even if I wasn't like as thorough as I should have been. And then as soon as I was like presenting the evidence, I was like, oh, I got this so figured out. And then as soon as like, are you sure that this is all you have? I was like, huh, no, I'm sure I have more. Just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. So like when we actually got like the everything wrong and we failed, that felt like such a gut punch right there. It felt so like I didn't like how it felt. So like, yeah, no, I see how the Ace Attorney games and like other mystery visual novels like this like get so big when they actually have like some kind of like mechanics based around it, you know? Like, I don't know, very, very fun. Explain the truth about Mr. Henkel. There we go. What happens if I do hit the... Oh, we can just hit this. And it takes us to the next... Maybe that's what I should just do instead of just mashing it. It also goes way freaking faster because it's just going to take us to the next choice. Yeah, I'll be hyperbolic, as always. Be apologetic. Boop, boop, boop. He and I are old news. There we go. Also, the sound effects are being a little ASMR right now with, like, the actual, like, writings and everything. Okay, let me just go ahead and go like this. And then, can I... So there's the help button. Can I, like, save? No, okay, no, it just explains the instructions again. Okay, so I'll save after this. I'm going to pull out the pictures and the backlight just to see if we can, like, pull anything off of them. Okay, no. I'm going to check all the pictures, though. I'm honestly probably just going to go over everything with the backlight just to see if we can find anything else, because that seemed to be, like, the big thing we were missing. So I think, like, the answer to this is going to be that it was, like, the victims, several of them, except for, well, obviously one of them, were the changelings, and it was going to be the warrior phase who did it for some reason. I mean, obviously they'd specify, like, oh yeah, the warrior phase just don't like the other peeps, you know? Like, none of the fairies really get along with each other, so, like, that could just generally be enough of a reason for it. But I'm gonna go over everything again, just in case. Let me go ahead and go like this. Okay, and then we're gonna go back to the coin. Oh, hang on. Okay, I'm trying to, like, indicate it, but it's like this. Oh, whoa, what happened? Oh, whoa. Oh, weird. Oh, we can be more thorough, like, by moving the backlight more over things to get stuff to happen. What the freak? I've seen this before. This is a parasitic fae. A failed transformation magic? Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, so it is. Okay, exactly what I just said. Can we get any more information? There's no mistaking it. The structure of the thorax, antennae, curvature, elongated legs, they are exactly the same as the parasitic fae I cataloged several months ago. What happened to you, poor fae? Of course, no response is forthcoming. Okay, hang on. Let me go ahead and put this little guy back in here. And I'm going to pull this back out. Wrong thing. Wrong tool. Let me grab my other one. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so yeah, like, going up. Does this one reveal anything else by going like this? No, okay. So it probably just, like, because of, like, our stuff that, like, burned, the iron that's used in this to burn the coin, that's probably what undid the magic on it, but this is probably just, like, indicating that there are traces of magic on it, not necessarily that there's, like, anything else to it. Okay, I just want to be trying to be extra thorough. I don't want to miss anything again. Hang on. How did I miss the red glow? How did I miss that? Oh my gosh. Okay. And then, yeah, we have the family pictures. Boop, boop, boop. I saw something on their hands. Oh, wait. Whoa. Hang on. Okay, wait, so these two are scribe phase. So this middle-aged woman in the color blouse is the victim. I guess this elderly man in the suit is her father. The elderly woman wearing the cardigan is her mother, I suppose. This bespectacled man is perhaps her brother. Hang on. So, nothing on these two, though. No, they're very clean. Okay, so those two are... Oh my gosh, we missed so much. We missed so much because I didn't think about this. Okay. What's that on her hand? Okay. So... So this middle-aged woman with the pearls is the victim. I guess the elderly man with facial hair is her father. His mother, I suppose. The darker suit may be her brother. Okay, so... Wait. Parasitic phase limited magic consistently need to feed off of other energy sources, mostly drain life force. However, the mechanisms and rates at which these draining processes occur are greatly varied. Due to the complexity of the Fae magic required to create a changeling, the enchantment almost always goes awry. Anomalies occur. Nearby heat conductors, such as small metallic objects, also have been known to repel or to warp the magic-creating changelings. There are unconfirmed rumors that some high fae like to capture humans and bring them into the fairyland for purposes such as, and so on. The fairies leave changelings behind to mask their absence. Wait, okay, hang on. Now I am, in fact, of slight confusion as to... hang on. Of what's going on a little bit. So, because there's the occult stuff that Mr. Henkel told us about. Because I wonder... I don't think that this means that, like, these people are, like, the scribe mages. I mean, the scribe fae. I keep trying to want to say mages. I don't know why. I don't think this means that these people are, like, scribe fae. I just think that, like, maybe this occult has something to do with them. And so then they're using the changelings. Wait, are changelings... I think I might have conflated that changelings are parasitic fairies. Yeah, I think I definitely just like conflated those two ideas when it doesn't really even say that like at all. So I think what's going on is but why would it be? But why would it be this? My thought process immediately went to like thinking that the cult is to do with the scribes. They're leaving behind the changelings. They're taking these people, like the actual victims. Then they're leaving because you can see these pictures. Like it doesn't at least look like she has the 6 fingers at this point. Here we can probably see it better on the other picture. Actually, let me go ahead and grab out the records, and I'll put this one away. Let me go ahead and pull that one back out. Yeah, it doesn't look like she has the extra fingers here, but this is when she has the mark on her hand, whereas in the other picture she doesn't. So I think that this is like some kind of cult of the scribe phase. The scribe phase took these women and left behind the changelings, but then the warrior fae killed them for some reason. For some reason. But that also doesn't explain exactly how you get to like the factory girl and why she was even involved. I don't know. Interesting. I think that is there anything else that we should go over though with any of these tools? No. But I think this will also help us. Wait. I can't end the investigation. Do I need to pull this out and like investigate them? Like read all the case files and everything? Record. Let's just go like this really quick. Do. Tools, records. Let's go like this, and then like hang on. Edna Niblet, still the best name. Hey, no, grab you. Okay, let me go like that. Okay, now we can end the investigation. So let's go ahead and put this back. No, I want to grab you and put you back. There we go. I don't know if it actually matters, like, clean up our desk, but I like to have my desk as clean as possible. Okay. So, yeah, no. So now when... Yeah, Mr. Henkel. Now we can bring up the idea of the bug to him and what we found about it. And now he might actually have more things to say. Better than I could have hoped. Okay, so let's go record. Bug. Tell me what you know about this guy, baby. Isn't this a parasitic fae? Are they the ones killing those poor ladies? I'm rather surprised that he was able to identify a fae with just one look. I suppose he did read everything from my research reports. No, that didn't really tell us a whole lot more. I'm not gonna lie. That really didn't tell us a whole lot more. Okay, so I'm just gonna hit him with all the pictures and everything really quick, just to make sure, like, she has all the information, because I don't know how much that would actually affect the deduction ability if we don't give him everything, essentially. And if it'll end, like, give us, like, just, like, more details, essentially. Record. Because I think we're going to need to go with the warrior phase are the one doing it, because they are the ones committing these murders now that we're essentially seeing. Yeah, keep it hanging. There we go. And then yeah, I think that's good. I think that is good right there. End interview. Confirm. How do I? Is there a way to save? There we go. Slot 1. Save data. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that should make things significantly easier. I have no further questions. Because I think I'm going to try and do this again. I want to try going through it one more time. But they were very lovely, and they did provide us a walkthrough, which for stupid people like me is very much so appreciated. And let me bring out the bloods again. And is there anything else that I want to go? I think I'm also going to take out this little guy. I think that's really all that we need left to go over. I'm going to go ahead and just separate them a little bit more, so then the detection works a little bit better on it. Let's go ahead and get you out, and then go ahead and get you out, and put you away. Yeah, let's look at the blood. Nope, nothing. Yeah, again, I mean, to be fair on this one, I think I just, like, I didn't notice it because, like, it's red, and then it glows a little bit more red. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a very, you know, fair thing to notice. But yeah, okay, so, and yeah, I can't believe I didn't. Oh, should have paid more attention to that. Yeah, okay. What happened? Of course, no response forthcoming. Arsenic, huh? Okay. At least I feel like we have a significantly stronger evidence right now, though. You know what I mean? In terms of, we found the bug. The parasitic Fae. And that's really all that's changed. I'm not gonna lie. Wait, record? What do we need to look at to get this to move on? Nah, I didn't mean to put you away. Okay, I think we just need to look at the victim's pictures again. Okay. Husband seems like delightful individuals. Record. The coin is, and the evidence is hers. Henfield didn't know her at all. And then yeah, we already scanned over all those, and we didn't find any traces of anything on them. So I think for right now, this might be the most evidence that we can get. Is there anything else that I can do? I didn't even hit help. I didn't mean to hit that. My bad. My B. Okay. I think that's what we're gonna do. I think I have it mostly pieced together now. I'm gonna do another save. I didn't mean to click that. That's not the way you save. You hit the escape button. And then, yeah, we're just going to save. I'll just make a second save slot. That's fine. Also, this UI is so, like, crispy and tasty. I like it. It looks like if I ran my hand across it, I'd be able to feel the textures of everything. It's the next afternoon. Okay. Okay. I'm locked in. I'm ready to go. Yes. I'm certain of it. Which one is the warrior Fae? What is the evidence? The dead Fae. How does it prove warrior involvement? I put the dead Fae beneath the light. This is a dead parasitic Fae. Look, it glows purple and red under the backlight. I take it their bodies still glow even after they're dead? Correct. It takes a little while until their magic is fully dissipated from the corpses. It honestly looks just like a normal bug to me. Hold on 1 second. I turn to the shelves and pick up one of the boxes containing a deceased insect from my ongoing research. I open the lid and show it to Theo. I found this one dying just yesterday. It died shortly after. I swiftly put it beneath the backlight. Why do I keep saying backlight? That's a One Piece Red song. A very good song, but still, it has nothing to do with this. A normal one doesn't glow, you see? Theo's expression is a blend of amusement and bewilderment. Quite interesting. And how does it end up here? That fed off the victim's life source. Parasitic Fae that fed off the victim's life source would become a casualty of murder. I think it was decided that it was failed transformation magic. It's a parasitic Fae that got warped by a coin due to transformation magic going awry, because the coin was in was on one of the victims. Putting it all together. Okay. The coin in the evidence turned into this when I put it under the black light long enough, essentially revealing what it really was. So the third victim, Miss Niblet, what about her? Mr. Hengel says she has her numerous coin collection displayed in all her rooms in her house. That particular coin must have been nearby when she met her fate. I can see the feeling of unease reflected in Theo's expression as he stares at me. I need a moment to digest all this. I nod and take a moment to arrange the box neatly before placing it back on the shelves. What else you got? The third... I think that this one's very important. Houses prove warrior involvement. I slot the blood sample beneath the black light and show the magic traces. You see there's a glow of purple and red under the black light. How do the purple traces, or parasitic magic as you say, have a part in this? Well, this one's just a blatant lie, so it's this one. There we go. The blood is fairy blood. That is because this blood is fairy's blood. And that's because this blood is fairies, and their blood contains traces of their own magic. This is further supported by the blood sample analysis. Fairy's blood has high contents of phosphorus, just like reported. Adding to that, the missing iron, fairies have an aversion towards iron. They don't have it in their blood. They can still, however, withstand the iron in human blood. That's why some parasitic fae like to drink our blood. As I ramble on, Theo listens intently with a slightly surprised look on his face every time I start a new sentence. Oh, we got it. Oh, we got it, chat. Let's go. To be honest, I'm out of words at the moment. What else you got? The ring! Houses prove warrior involvement. I place the ring beneath the black light. You see, Mrs. Moore's ring glows purple and red under the black light. But why does it glow purple as well? Wait, it's a parasitic fae warped into a ring because of failed transformation magic. It's part of transformation magic? Oh! I'm gonna be a little save scummy right here. Hang on, save. Only because it's the demo, you know what I mean? It's parasitic fae warped into a ring. But if it was warped into a ring because of failed transformation magic, then the black light would have revealed it. So I'm just gonna say it's part of transformation. Part of transformation magic. That's because the ring is part of transformation magic. When the parasitic fae is transformed into a changeling or human look-alike, high fae magic is able to copy everything, including Miss Moore's wedding ring. There's a sudden silence in the air as Theo's eyes widen in consternation. How dare! I know social. I'm such a disgrace. I'm such a failure. I'm sorry. Oh, what the hell are we dealing with here? He mutters in a voice that is filled with dismay. There appears to be strong evidence pointing towards warrior involvement. Based on what you've shown me, parasitic fairies are one way or another connected to the manner of killing. But you also haven't told me how the warrior fairies killed the humans. Give it to me straight. How do you figure the murders were carried out? Warriors directed parasitic underlings to sap life, causing ossification and severe hallucinations. Warriors replaced victims with changelings and killed the changelings with ossifications and hallucination spells. Warriors' ossification and hallucination spells killed the victims and nearby parasitic fae. I think that this is, based on all the evidence, because warriors directed parasitic underlings to sap life, because this just isn't true, because they just don't get along, they just don't vibe, man. Warriors replaced victims with changelings and kill the changelings. But this just isn't. I just don't think this is true based on the connection to the blues. You know what I'm saying? Dabba dee dabba die or whatever. And then the warriors' ossification and hallucination spells kill the victims, and I feel like this is the answer. Warrior Fae use ossification and hallucinatory spells to kill the victims. Due to their formidable offensive magic, they limited the lowly parasitic Faes in the vicinity as well. Something is amiss. How do you explain the mystery of the blood? Wouldn't the parasitic Fae meet their end in a similar fashion? How do I explain the mystery of the blood? I can't help but think I'm missing something. I suppose my theory may not be entirely accurate. We can also look at this case from another angle. The motives. Based on your investigation, what could be the rationale behind the warrior Fae's actions? It's difficult to pinpoint the reasons why fairies do what they do because they don't follow human rules or morality. However, I found that... Oh, obviously it's this one. Yeah. The three middle-aged are blessed by scribe Faes, shown by the sigils on one of their hands. I say as I hover the black light on top of the family photographs one by one. I mentioned before that especially strong magic can be seen even through photographs. Yes, I remember. He answers while taking the black light out of my hand and checking the sigils himself. The two sigils light up on Mrs. Woolridge's family photograph and one on Mrs. Moore's. The sigil is a sign of being blessed by one of the scribe fae, usually given when someone has done a very special boon for a scribe. It gives a good fortune and is passed down through generations. As you know, the middle-aged victims and their families are old, rich families and have stayed on top for many decades. That's how strong the magic is. Mrs. Moore was adopted. That's why it was only her who has it. Her late biological parent hailed from... Oh, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even put that one together. I'm so thankful that Lana is smarter than I am. That's why she's a Faeologist, and I'm just here playing the game. Her late biological parent hailed from a distinguished and affluent lineage. Theo points at the faces in Mrs. Woolridge's photographs, and he's the biological father while the other two are stepfamily? I nod at him. I'm positively sure that we should check into Miss Niblet's family photograph. She and her children will display the same sigils. I'll see what I can do. Oh, and it's also meant as a warning for others not to harm the marked humans. I guess that warning didn't work on this case, did it? No, it didn't. I know, well, I suppose this makes sense, and it's a pattern. Yes. This might be targeted murders. He then casts a glance my way with an air of satisfaction around him and breaks into a smile. Good job. My, considering how rarely he gives commendations, this sounds like the compliment of a lifetime. I can feel my confidence is going through the roof. Thank you. Lastly, what have you found on the poor girl, Mary Hatcher? Any connection to fairies? The chemist's report is similar to the case files. The blood is normal human blood, traces of arsenic. I didn't find any sigils of fairy magic from the evidence. Even so, based on her relation to Miss Niblet, we can discard the possibility that fairies might be involved with her. We can't discard the possibility that fairies might be involved with her death too. Theo nods in agreement. I have one more piece of information to tell you. Really? What is it? Mr. Henkel told me that there exists a clandestine occult group called the Golden Dawn. I asked him about this since the police report suggested some occultism might be involved. Hardly anyone, even from the upper class, has ever heard of it. He said several elites are members of it. He picks out a small notebook and a pen from his trench coat and starts writing. I'm not sure if this is useful. Every scrap of information counts. I ought to note down the things we've talked about today as well. Your findings really threw me for a loop. I forgot to take notes. Of course, take your time. While Theo is writing, I tidy up my desk and put the evidence back in the box. Anything else you got? That's all I have for now. He put his notebook and pen back in his coat. He heaves a sigh so heavy I can't... He heaves a sigh so heavy I can believe he has the weight of the city on his shoulders. Even so, when he looks at me, there's a glint of something that wasn't there before. This fleck of illumination is all the more stark since we started this discussion. It's hope, perhaps. A tiny, delicate thing is blossoming in this room to counteract the overwhelming darkness and despair outside. I always knew you were clever. Even though I feel there are still some missing pieces of this puzzle, you've done well. I'm quite impressed. Thank you, Theo. He answers with a soft smile. Well, we still got our work cut out for us. But at least for now, innocent people won't get thrown in jail thanks to you. I'm glad I could help. Now I just need to convince the chief and the papers. Thing is, I might have to bring up your name in my report. I can't predict how the papers will handle this, but it's possible they'll mention you in Faeology. This is good for your field, of course. But it could draw unwanted, dangerous attention your way. He'll be fine, Theo. I can protect myself. This is what the field needs. Indeed, you're more than capable of taking care of yourself. I know that very well. I do appreciate you worrying over me. Theo's concern seems to fade, and he lets out a sigh of relief. Well, this day has certainly been a ride. He glances at his wristwatch. I still got time until I have to get back to the station. Fancy a drink with me? You can tell me more about fairies. I'll listen with way less judgment this time. Just like I promised. Sure. Would you mind waiting until I finish grading a few assignments? It'll take 10 minutes at most. Go ahead. See, the character is smarter than you when you don't name them stupid. No drug money, no terrible parents. You know what? That's so valid. That's so valid. Especially because like this is like a college professor, you know? Obviously they would be far smarter than me. And when I name them when I don't name them stupid, it probably helps their confidence level, it probably helps their intelligence levels go up a little bit. That's so fair. Because at least with Lover's Enigma, we named that character not stupid. But yeah, there's just, you know, the terrible parents getting involved and all the ghosts and everything. They really didn't stand a chance. From here on out, I'll make sure to name all the characters things you suggest instead of what we've gone with in the past. I focus my attention on the assignments. There's a minute of companionable silence. The scribbling of my pen is the only noise audible. Theo then speaks. You know what we should do? You know what we should toast to when we drink? What? Nice. Yeah, exactly. Like, listen, the names, they apparently mean a lot, you know? Or when you're not trying to steal to get, like, the drug monies and everything. So, it's so fair. It's so fair. We should toast to being a good team. We're a good team, are we? Aren't we? Or at least we should be. Your knowledge of the fairies is exactly what we need to make sense of all this mess. It's not just that. Your talent for investigation is impressive as they come. If you act as a consultant in a high-profile case like this, you'd be handsomely compensated, of course. Imagine what those funds could do for your phaeological research. So, what do you think? Would you ever consider joining the investigation in an official capacity? I don't know why. This song really reminds me of Promise from Silent Hill 2. Oh wait, no, wait, no, this isn't. This is is this a song, like a royalty-free creepypasta song? I think it might be. This sounds so familiar. It's like right on the tip of my tongue. Hang on, give it just a second. I'm gonna keep reading while we listen to it, and we'll come back to it. Oh my gosh, yeah, it definitely is. It so is. I've heard this before. I'll probably hop off for now. It was fun catching your stream. Well, thank you so much for being here, Andrew. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here. It was good talk with you as always. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Maybe it's not that. Maybe that's just what and yeah, the music sounds like the stereotypical horror. Yeah, I don't know. Because, like, it sounds very nice. It just sounds very similar to things that I've heard a few times before, so I don't know. Oh, hang on. Let me just adjust a few things just really quickly on my end. Hang on. There. Oh, there we go. That helps a little bit. Anyways, yeah, let's get back on into it. Ending 1, Detective Duo. Awesome. Okay, so we actually got a good ending. Let's go. Oh, wait, there's more? It's another afternoon in the office. My patron has stopped by to discuss a research project that I've been considering. Now that Faeology might get increased in credibility, especially with the police, I think we should examine the prevalence of strange deaths caused by fairies. Don't you think that, Mr. Henkel? The police might agree to help us collect the data. I'm not so sure about that. It would take time for the police to trust us to that extent. Besides, wouldn't it be more pressing to focus on your research on warrior phase? We have to talk. Before I can respond, two individuals suddenly barge into my office. Sorry, I tried to stop him but couldn't. Even though I've told him you're in a meeting right now. That's okay. That's okay, Minnie. You can let me handle this. If you say so, Professor. Minnie grumbles at Theo. She walks out. What's eating you, Theo? Theo doesn't so much as glance at Mr. Henkel. He unfurls a rolled up newspaper from the inner pocket of his coat. He hands it to me. Oh. Oh no. At a glance, I can see the phrase, fairies are real, evil is afoot, fairies killing humans spelled out in bold, oversized letters. As I begin reading, my patron peers over my shoulders to read as well. It is not the chief's statement that made the front page. It's another bizarre murder. This time, the victim is a beloved celebrity. She danced until her body gave out. They wrote out all the excessively grisly details connected to the death. Moreover, the reports surrounding the other homicides have been more thoroughly sensationalized and exaggerated. They depicted fairies as evil enemies of mankind, and in some parts, they even insinuate that war between beings is brewing. Reading all this makes my heart sink and my stomach churn. I need to put the paper down for a moment. This is truly awful. I've already checked the crime scene. The details of this latest incident look somewhat similar to what we've uncovered from the previous murders. Given everything, I'd say Fairy is definitely in the picture here. Though it's still hard to make heads or tails of all this. It's very difficult to grasp their motives, but judging by the methods and frequency, I have to say this is significant. Something big might be going on in the land of the fairies. As the conversation unfolds, Mr. Henkel appears to be deeply in thought. I need you to check something really quickly. Theo gives me a photograph of a celebrity. Knowing exactly what he wants, I retrieve the black light from my drawer and examine the photograph closely. Both Theo and Mr. Henkel peek over my shoulder to see a sigil, the same one as the other three victims had. I suppose we can now establish that these are targeted murders. I nod at him. For some reason, Mr. Henkel is nodding with me. Although the fourth victim, Mary Hatcher, doesn't have the sigil, does she? Did you find anything more about it? Theo shakes his head, leaving behind a troubled look. Nobody in the purchase records have a strong link to the girl. We're asking around here and there. The girl was a saint. Everybody loved her. Her squabble with Miss Niblet is the strongest lead we have. A striking realization draws upon me. My thought is wonders if the sigil is supposed to protect the people or be good things in their lives. Maybe it's someone that she hates. Maybe the sigil does something bad to them. Is my first thoughts. What if a fairy transformed into a human and purchased the poison? What? They can do that? Suddenly, Mr. Henkel's familiar voice fills the room after his long stretch of silence. Oh, yes, Detective. Although when a fairy shifts into human shape, they cannot assume the identity of someone already living. Your culprit may well be a name on the list, but one that doesn't truly exist. I give a nod in agreement with his words, feeling slightly proud that my patron is reading all the knowledge this university has to offer. Theo flinches at Mr. Henkel's input, clearly having dismissed him as part of the furniture. He then scoffs. Theo? All I get from Theo is a shrug. Surprisingly, he turns towards the patron. From what I've come to understand, fairy magic is more than capable of doing the killing. They have no need for poison. But I won't discard the possibility. Mr. Henkel only replies with a smile. Well, that's certainly a rare occurrence. Theo goes back to ignoring Mr. Henkel and talks directly to me. I should mention that I've gotten permission for you to check the crime scene. Come with me tomorrow? I'll see what I can do. Alright, I've got to go. I'm leaving the newspaper here. There are more articles about Faeology that you should read. Without so much as a word of goodbye to Mr. Henkel, Theo turns to leave. I pick up the paper again and continue reading, while Mr. Henkel silently reads alongside me. The field of Faeology is indeed mentioned quite markedly, but its loyalty to humankind is under scrutiny. Although the police chief spoke of our help, the papers continue to raise doubts about our involvement in these killings. Is the Faeology University a friend or a foe? Ooh. Oh, and that's the end. What a good freaking ending that is. Oh, here's the music. The dark hang on. The Raven's Lullaby. Hang on, I'm gonna look Raven's Lullaby up really quick because I think that might be what's playing right now. Hang on. And then after I look that up, we can like really get into like talking about the game and everything like that. The Raven's Lullaby. Oh wait, no, definitely wait. Oh, hang on then. Give it a sec. Just a sec. Oh no. It is not that song at all actually. Very good song though. Oh yeah, this is also the right YouTube channel for it. Anyways, whatever. Um yeah, with all that being said, I'm just gonna move on over logo font special thanks. With precious feedback, everyone else who's put interest in this project and support us during this development. That's awesome. That's so fun. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn back to the main menu and let's see if we can. No, there's like nothing else like featured here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I think I'm gonna move us back on over to the just chatting screen. There we go. Oh, hey, you also get a better look at the cattail now. There we go. It's a lot easier to put on display when it's actually like big like this. Um, but yes, that was so much freaking fun. Again, I so see why people love like these kind of like investigation visual novels. I thought that was going to be like really hard for me because I'm really stupid. But like just I don't know, the way like all the information is laid out, the way like the information isn't really like I don't know. I guess it is technically given to you, like with like the book and everything, giving you all the information that you need to know about the phase. But at the same time, like it's entirely up to the player to like read all that and like dig into it. And again, like the amount of like oh that I felt like when we were like being like told like, well, no, your conclusions actually don't make any sense. It was like it felt like a punch to the stomach, a slap to the face, and then like when we finally like got it right, it was like yes, we did it. Oh my gosh, we got it right. I don't know. It's just like incredibly satisfying to do. So I completely get it now. It's also such a good way of like getting you invested in everything that's going on. Like it gets you because it forces you to really digest like the details that you're being told a lot more than if you're just like reading it. If this was like a just a normal sorry, I bumped the mic. That was an accident. Like if you were just like reading through everything without like needing to like keep track of all these gritty details, like you could definitely like lose stuff. So like actually making you have to be the one to investigate everything and like go into like all the details of everything and actually solve the case. It makes you really engage with and like keep track of things a lot more than you otherwise would, which is just a lot of fun. Which is just a lot of fun, and the way it all like finally pieced together was like so satisfying. Especially since like even without like the character coming to the conclusion, being able to come to the conclusion like, oh yeah, here's all like the blue sigils on these people. They're connected to the Scribe Fae, and then it's the warriors are attacking them, and like all that kind of stuff. Like very like you just kind of got everything right just from like all the pieces laid out, and that's like I don't know. It's just a very strong mystery. I feel like that was just a lot of gibberish right there. But that's fine. That's fine. 90% of what I say is gibberish anyways at most times. So yeah, it's just like so fun to do. And then the characters are also just like a lot of fun. Like Theo and Mr. Henkel are so much fun. And Minnie, I was expecting like Minnie to be more of like based on her design, to be like more like gruff and everything, but she's just like really sweet and really nice. So I like love having her around. And then just like yeah, I know everything about it. Everything about it just kind of like again like a little bit of, like grit and grunge to it, which I really like. So yeah, it's just overall really cool. So I could not recommend if you like murder mysteries, if you like the visual novels where you investigate things again, like the Ace Attorney games, I think that I would have to highly recommend this one, just because that was just so much fun, especially like getting to delve. It's not like normal murder mysteries, you know. Like I love the idea of like the supernatural kind of like angle going on to like all this kind of stuff. Like I've thought about that before. Of like how fun would like murder mysteries in like a full fantasy setting be, as you have to like uncover like all like the mechanics behind like the fantasy world, which then as like that unfurls more teaches you more about like how these murders could have happened. Like it's such a fun idea, and it's so cool to see that like on display here. So yeah, no, I could not recommend this game more. Honestly, like all the games that we've been playing for the festival have been so freaking good, and it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. The only issue is that I am now sitting here going, this is like the one, because like here's the thing, I love demos. I love demos so freaking much. But this is like the one time where I'm like, maybe playing the demo wasn't a good idea, because now I just want to play more of the game. I need the rest of the game to be here. You know what I mean? So it's like that kind of feeling right now of like I need to know what happens next. Whereas like normally I try to like look at like demos as like a very good like like little bite-sized teaser to like hold you over until like the full thing comes out. But here I'm like, no, I need to solve this case. I gotta get into it. So yeah, no, I could not. I would absolutely recommend everyone to check out the demo on Steam and again over on Itch.io. And it also makes me more excited to play the other game that they have out for the festival, Ukami and Okami, which we're going to actually be playing on Monday. So that is very, very exciting. Um, but I think with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and raid on over into Justerfly today, Suzume, for their birthday weekend stream that's going on. Bye bye. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Have a great rest of your weekend. Everyone treat Justerfly with respect and have a great rest of your night. I'll see y'all on Monday. Bye bye.